Welcome out, ladies and gentlemen, to the RGL.GG No Restriction Sixes Grand Finals. We have Froyo Tech going up against Cat Noises in this best of three contest. We're going to be going to Koth. We're going to be going to Payload. We're going to be going to Gullywash. Ha! I don't know if anybody gets a Howard Dean reference, but I'm going to fucking do it because I can do that. It's my own damn league and I can do what I want. This is going to be a great time here as we get started out. We're going to be starting out on Viaduct, going to Upward, and then Gullywash. The great thing about this format is that we really don't know where we're going to get with this format other than chaos, fun, and new and unique strategies. And these teams are going to have to adjust every single map. What we see on Viaduct is probably not what we're going to see on Upward, which is probably not what we're going to see on Gullywash. What strategies, what class compositions are we going to be seeing out here tonight? I am Sigafu, and I'm very excited to be joining you here tonight. We have a great audience starting out, 450 viewers. Thank you so much for everybody. Don't forget to toss out a follow and sub if you like us a little bit more. I'm joined out here with Voxday to my side, and we're going to have Zeg doing some analyst stuff behind the scenes, and then Dolphin, of course, behind the camera. Make sure to give him some love. How you doing out here, Vox?
I'm doing great, man. I mean, it's really exciting to see the culmination of this season. I've got to watch the majority of the matches that we've casted, and it's just been a lot of fun kind of looking at TF2 again in that vanilla state and seeing how, how people are coming across and kind of shifting things, the things that we've taken for granted. And it all comes down to this, the two best teams, the teams that have embraced it the most, how do they go toe to toe against each other?
And Zeg, my man, how you doing out here tonight?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to being the analyst man this time. My voice is a bit shot from last night, but in this game mode, there's so many different combinations and strategies that you can bring out, and there's a reason for all of them. When these two teams are the best, they're the cream of the crop in the league, clearly above the rest, so they know what they're doing, and I'm looking forward to trying to deconstruct that a bit.
And I'm looking forward to it as well. I mean, we've seen these teams pull out some unique strategies. One of the favorite strategies that I've seen is just like, actually, one of the things I love about this format so far, just because we really don't know what we're looking at, is we'll see an idea and then we got to be like, why did they do that? Like, we don't really know. It's like sometimes we can kind of piece it together, and sometimes, it's not quite so like, one of the common things that we've been seeing teams do, for instance, when we pay on Payload, typically, historically with Prolander or Highlander, you see a suicide wave go for a medic, right? And you like suicide your players in, but what they're doing is they're doing a suicide wave with a medic, because you can just spawn 2 or 3 medics at the start and then just go throw them in there just to try to get the force off on the enemy medic or medics, and then you can do your push after that, and then they come back and they re-switch it up. I think one of the questions tonight here is, are we going to be seeing 1 medic versus 2 medic? Froyo Tech has been really consistently running a single medic versus Cat Noises, which has been a little bit more common with 2 medics. I mean, Zeg, do you have any opinions on that, what we're going to be seeing here tonight, or what, how effective you think the 2 medic versus 1 medic strategy is?
I think when these two teams are definitely the best in the league in terms of strategy and DM, I think that 2 medic might be a bit of a downfall if you're running it for like a purpose that's not to, just run in quickly and get a force, which, we will see that on Payload pretty much guaranteed. So it really is just going to depend on what these teams think they can get away with. If a team thinks they can get away with double medic, if they're really feeling their DM on their key players, we might see it out. But I think it's kind of definitely reserved for, playmaking strats instead of normal gameplay strats.
And I really feel it that way. I'm kind of curious myself. I mean, Vox, you've casted some of these matches. What were some of the strategies that jumped out to you as something you weren't expecting, either how well it worked, or I guess, maybe like the Vaccinator, for instance? Like, we've seen that. Like, how do you feel like Vaccinator has been as a weapon? And, do you expect this teams to be running it tonight?
Yeah, so with Vaccinator, really, I don't think it works as your primary medigun. I think at that point, you're probably already running a second medic. And Zag really kind of hit on those points of running the second medic is probably something you want to do here and there, not going to be running it consistently. So I don't know. I think Vaccinator, it has its place, but it requires a certain type of medic to do it. For the most part, it hasn't been too successful. Like, there's been some of those moments that we've said, oh, wow, the resistance came into play, but overall, I feel like I'd rather, if I'm going to run 2 medics, I'd rather want a quick fix out there or a Kritzkrieg to really catch him off guard and maybe get a pick before switching off.
Yeah, I mean, I think Vaccinator really has been one of those weapons where it really feels to me like it's not really strong by itself, you know, it tends to be like you can focus it down pretty easily. Vaccinator is pretty good when you're getting bombed into, and you can be like, oh, I'm going to switch to, you know, explosive resistance, and I'm just going to be able to deny that damage. But when it's kind of combined together, it can make it some interesting. But it's still, I don't feel like it's like instantly win. You know, we've seen teams run double vac, like a vac and an Uber or two medics, and they'll lose to a single medic with Uber charge and stuff like that. I think one thing to keep your eye out for is if you do see double medic being ran, teams who do that need to like play much tighter together because you don't have as much firepower. Just losing one class, that's 25% of the damage that's being done. And so I think that's one thing you have to watch out for is if you do see a double medic composition, which you probably will see from cat noises, make sure you kind of watch how their players are formed together. They're going to be a lot tighter in the way that they're grouped up. But Zag, I mean, I guess some of the ideas is what kind of class stacking can you expect to see here tonight? You know, what kind of class stacking do you think in terms of that we're going to be seeing duplicates of in some of these matches? Maybe let's start with Viaduct. What do you think? What kind of class stacking do you think we're going to see in Viaduct?
All right, so Viaduct is a very Demoman-centric map, and in addition, Froyo Tech is likely going to be running a perma engineer because of Uncle Dane, you know, being that engineer player. So we might see Cat Noises bring out a double medic, double Demoman setup. And then normally, you know, that would make it so the Doman can get rushed by scouts easier, but we might even see them run a heavy to kind of help deny those scouts. So if we see that kind of like 5-man combo come out, I think that might be a thing to look out for.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. We are getting started up here for this first mid fight. This is going to be a best of 5 series here on the map. As we get started out here, double medic, 4 cat noises. As they're running 2 demos, 2 medics, a sniper, and a scout. On Froyo Tech, they got 2 scouts, a soldier, a demo, an engineer, and a single medic. So we'll see which one's going to help them out early on here. Is the Bonk Scout going behind right now, behind the enemy lines, as the scout is pushing forward through main, getting into a 1v1 on that lower hand side. As the sniper toss out Girardi, but that soldier dropping down onto both medics who don't have anybody to heal right now, at least in terms of damage. Both of them are getting cleaned up there, and there's only 2 players left alive as Froyo Tech decisively win that first mid fight. Nursey, though being chased, will be able to keep her life.
Yeah, that was a pretty clinical mid there by Froyo Tech. They jumped past the bonk to the scout. The bonk to distract the scout Speedy, so he had to focus that way. But at the same time, Yamsa jumped in on Soldier, and there was just no protection. So they're able to just collapse on the remaining members of Cat Noises, grab the point, and now they're in a good position because when Froyo Tech has the point, they really tend to hold on to it.
Yeah, 2max is one of those things where it's like really good when you have the lead, but when you don't have the lead, it's kind of a hard thing to push into because you have less firepower. Bull goes down early here, so no demo man. You know, we see the sniper trying to get something that's Boar, but he's not really able to find too much. Yamps will go down behind enemy lines, but I'm not really sure if you can really push off that too much. Currently, Nursey's holding on to that 100% behind Rock. You can see they're not playing in pocket, which is a little bit unusual. You know, I think, you know, if you even added an extra demo man here, it might be more useful because if they're going to play behind Rock, that's really spammable from demo. But here we can see the aggression coming out from Cat Noises.
Yeah, they do get on the point, mostly Cap, but then the Uber comes out from Nursey, just flashing all around, and that's what you need to do in this situation, but the Uber comes in return. There goes Mirrorman on the Pyro. They're going to clean up a couple members. They should come down with this point. There is still Banny or Eric, one of the scouts, hiding behind over on the cliff side, but otherwise, I mean, that's a good take from Cat Noises, although they do lose Daffodil late, and that's going to hurt them.
Yeah, and also the Vaccinator mech doesn't have any heals right now. Actually, they lost them early in the fight, as you said, so that's going to make it a little bit harder as they just get back up here. Here comes in the soldier bombing in. That's going to be Yams getting some damage down as he gets hit with that Girardi, but he did take down Boar before that happened, and so they can rest a little bit more comfortably. You can see Froyo Tech's positioning is a little bit more aggressive on point because they don't have to worry about that sniper sight line. Well, right now, 60% in the favor of Froyo Tech. Currently, Cat Noise is only at 11% Uber charge. They do take down one. Banny goes down early here, but Eric does get the better of Bull here. And the oh, nice snipe coming out as Demento got popped up into the air. Great reflect coming out from the soldier. Speedy's going to help clean up Yams there. It's a 4v4 fight, but I don't know. It seems like Cat Noise is struggling to get across the point.
Yeah, and I really do have to wonder at what point do they try changing up that double medic setup, because like you said, you lose some firepower, and I haven't seen too much success out of the Vax medic so far. But Eric finds a shot onto Speedy. That's one where he really could have used some vaccinator protection, but Eric gets another one despite Boar. A little collateral, wasn't a 2-for-1, but you know, the sound plays nonetheless.
And so we'll see what they can do, but with only 40 seconds left on the clock here for Froyo Tech, Cat Noises needs to make something happen and need to make it happen soon, but they lose 2 players right now. She Bold just getting back up, but that's 4 going down here. The Vaccinator is ready to go. The Medigun is finally getting charged up here, but Froyo Tech's pushing in with their own Uber charge. 20 seconds left on the clock. The respawns will be up here for 7 seconds. And so it looks like Cat Noises is waiting till the absolute last second. This is, I mean, they can do a double medic again. If you're defending the point, you have the double medic. You can use one to push in, get the aggression. They're going in solo with Bull, and they drop Speedy early on here. Bull's going to get disconnected during the supercharge, but will be able to pop back up. But they went in too early. Nobody's on the point. They need to drop the supercharge. Bull's finally going to start to capture Uncle Dane's, but they didn't capture it. Bull was on the point, I swear, but I guess it didn't ring out there. And so I think... as you said, I gotta wonder when they're gonna switch off this double medic, but looks like they're gonna go for it again the second mid fight.
Yeah, I believe the issue right now is that when you run double medic, you're already low firepower, but you're running Boar on Sniper to mid when he doesn't have ground to work with. Eric did more in 1 life on Sniper than Boar did the entire round, so they need to make space for him or switch to more DM.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, that's a good point, and you can see this mid really isn't going too well for Cat Noises yet again. I mean, they've got a couple of picks, and Boar takes one out with the Bushwhacker. That's Yams, who's really been causing them problems, but ultimately, you know, the remaining players, a medic, a soldier, and a sniper, it's up to Boar to hit a couple of shots at this point, but it looks like, oh, he does hit a shot. All right, the point was going to go to Froyo Tech, but now the aggression comes out of Cat Noises, and Boar gets another one.
And they're going to pick up another frag onto Uncle Dane. Nursey behind the point, getting disconnected from her team. The soldier's going to jump around there to protect her as the scout jumping onto Habib. Will be able to land the frag as he will trade out his life. But this midpoint, which was very close to being captured for Froyo Tech, will go down in the favor of Cat Noises. And so this is, we'll see what they can do now. This is the real first time they have the advantage. And this is where I was going to say, maybe you don't run Boar to Sniper at mid-fight. Maybe you get an extra scout. But now that you control the point, the Sniper is a lot more powerful. And we'll see what Boar's able to do right now, as they're not running Sniper on Froyo Tech right now, so he can snipe with impunity. He has no one to contest him right now.
And that might be a death knell, although the Uber does come out from Nursey. I mean, Banny finds one, but there's not too much else going on. Much better Uber now out of Cat Noises. But really not finding too much just yet. Demento actually gets an arrow onto Banny to take him out, but otherwise Froyo Tech and this post Uber looking really good. Demento got a second frag. He got Nursey with the arrow, so on a 2K right now, the Vax medic, he is gonna go down, but I mean, that's probably the most impactful that medic has been thus far.
I mean, it's so weird. It's like, okay, like you have Uber advantage, you have Vac, like it just feels like they just don't have enough DM classes, kind of like what, because like if Boar's not hitting his shot, it's kind of like you're playing, you know, with 3 classes and 2 medics, and I just don't feel like that's enough. But we'll see what they can do here. Cat Noise is starting to work out here. At least medics are even in Uber. Nice bomb all the way around. Wow, Yams, that was beautiful. As here comes in the counter bomb in onto the point. They do pick up one, but it's a 4v4 fight. Soldier onto the medic. Will pick up one to clean up. Coming out from Eric. Oh my goodness. Oh, wipe in the favor of Froyo Tech, and they continue to hold on to this point. They are down by about 30 seconds, but they're going to continue to hold on to this. But Nursey, while I was speaking about that, did get her head taken off by Boar, so at least the Uber advantage will be even here for Cat Noises.
Double medic's off now. They've swapped to another DM class.
Yeah, Demento over on heavy, and maybe this is what they need to really get something going again in this round, because they are still leading just barely, and they do have some time on the point. Speedy falls early. Boar finds a headshot onto Habib, but now they're down 2 players. Jumping across is Yamps. He's all the way in the back line, so that's something they're going to have to worry about in a little bit. But the point does go in Cat Noise's favor for the time being, but Froyo Tech are ready for the cleanup. As Boar sitting on China, and the point gets capped, but just kind of backing up and regrouping now are Cat Noises.
Yeah, they also had Demento switch over to heavy. He's going to stay on heavy there off of medic, so we'll see if that helps him out. But Froyo Tech is going to start to take the lead right now. If Cat Noise is starting to walk up that valley side. Boar doesn't really have a great side. Oh, he misses that shot onto Habib, who peeked his sideline. Bull pushing forward, but he has no support whatsoever and easily gets cleaned up there. The flank pushed onto the concrete there. He did a decent amount of damage as Froyo Tech's holding on to the point, and also has a good amount of aggression that they're trying to get onto the enemy team right now. But Cat Noise is just going to hold on. Each team does have an Uber charge ready to go, but the real question is how are they going to use it?
Yeah, and this is so difficult for Cat Noises. I mean, both Banny and Eric on Scout is scary regardless of the format, and they're just tearing up. And the Uber is going to get popped up onto Banny. Not too much going on just yet, actually. Banny finds one, and Habib another. Banny with a second.
Bull
Just
had a
going back and
beautiful
forth.
air shot there. I just got to point that out. I don't know if you caught that on camera, but he had a nice air shot onto the soldier. Oh, but no! Eric taking down Bull, who switched back onto Sniper. So it seemed like they might be able to do something, but I don't know. I guess, you know, Zeg, what do you think is going wrong here with Cat Noises of why they're not being able to get their pushes off?
I really don't think that the offensive sniper is that good on this map. You see Froyo and Eric only switching sniper when they hold that point. Boar doesn't have any space to work with him. They don't have the point. You know, he keeps getting bombed from behind, and Froyo just collapsing them with more DM classes.
So we'll see what they can do. They're trying to push onto the point. Bull, always the furthest one forward for his team, but he's always taking so much damage doing that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting at the at the end of the round to look at the logs and see how much damage he actually has taken. But in the meantime, the point almost capped by Cat Noises. Jumping forward is Yams. He denies the capture, looking real good as Eric finds a shot on that Machina. 5 seconds left as the point goes in Cat Noise's favor, but they really have to hold this for a minute 40. It's going to be difficult if they lose the point just to try to recap it within the next few seconds. And Boar finding a shot onto Banny, Yams going down. I mean, this is the start, but there's going to be plenty of respawns before that overtime counter starts.
Yeah, we'll see with the new Uncle Dane, also level 2 sentry gun on the concrete side, which is protected because there is no connector. He's going to be spammed out there from Bull, trying to get something, but Eric does ring out a headshot on to the heavy. This is currently a best of 5 series, so 2 more points for the next team to win. Here comes out the Ubercharge from Froyo Tech, trying to chase forward. A nice milking there from Daffodil, making sure not to drop anybody, but Bull's actually pretty low. The Scout's going on to the sentry gun, will be able to take it out, trying to get Uncle Dane as well, as a soldier from behind does distract them, and that, oh, Eric brings out another headshot. 3 players down, 4 Cat Noises. Oh, and the medic gets traded out there as well. It's just Demento. They're going to come down with this, and that is going to be the round in the favor of Froyo Tech as they start out this game 2-0.
Yeah, they're looking real strong. I mean, a map like Viaduct really plays to their strengths.
I also
Yes.
want to point out here, just real quick, actually, as they toss it out,
When Uncle Dane runs the engineer and has that gun set up on either clip or concrete, it's a lot harder to actually bomb to the sniper. So Eric is able to play with more space than Boar is able to play.
yeah, I mean, also Yams is in his butt, like, all the time. He cannot get comfortable. I also would like to see Boar get that Girardi out a lot more quickly. Yams is constantly going for this concrete push, and it's working so well. Finally, they actually countered, running the heavy over there to try to help deal with this. Habib, it looked like he was going to go down. He finally does get taken out there by Demento. Boar rings out a headshot onto Uncle Dane as a scout behind, going into a 3v1, will finally go down. And it looks like it'll be a mid-fight here for Cat Noises. They won the last mid-fight, but they've yet to win a round. Is this the time they can finally turn it around for themselves?
And this is an interesting class composition. They've moved Speedy over to medic as Yams just destroys Daffodil. Such a quick bomb across the point and obliterates him. But yeah, so Speedy is now on medic. Demento was the one playing before, and he switched or staying on heavy. So different class setup that we've seen before, but they're still kind of relying on that double medic. They do grab the point, so maybe a sign of things to come. But I'm still a little nervous with their lack of DM classes.
Well, here we go. So yeah, we see the double medic coming up there, but their big thing is Nursey has 100%, and currently Cat Noises doesn't have anything. Here comes in the Ubercharge. Yams is going to be chasing them down with the soldier class. Demento's eating a lot of that damage. The Uber's finally let up there, and the Scout's chasing forward. Is going to be able to pick up one onto Banny. Looking for more. Both the Scout and Soldier on that concrete side are pretty low as Bull picks up Uncle Dane, but what else can he get here? He's currently alone with Boar. He's trying to ring out a headshot, isn't able to find it, but Boar gets taken out. Great flank here from the Scout, going on to Boar as well, but now it's just the medics left alone. Daffodil's going to get disconnected, going to go for the melee kill, not able to get it as Yams cleans it up. They're trying to do what they can, but the other medic should go down here, trying to get back to spawn, being chased out. Actually, we'll get some reinforcements and keep his life, but it is only the vaccinator medic, which is not that impactful. So this is just not looking too great for them, as Bull's going to start running out to the point. Froyo Tech controls.
Yeah, and already in the back lines is Yams down to 50 HP. I don't know if he's going to be able to do anything now. Heals for Mirrorman as he chases down. Yams on 6 is still alive. So just a distraction at this point, more so than someone that might get a frag, but still, that can be a problem to come for Cat Noises. They do want to push forward with the fact that they know they have the advantage, and here comes Yomps. He jumps in, takes down Daffodil. He grabbed the pack from Cliff and just jumped right over. And they knew they were going to have to deal with him. They just didn't know when. As the Uber comes in for Froyo Tech, they clean up on Speedy, and they are just taking out every member of Cat Noises.
It just really doesn't feel like they have an answer to Yomps right now. He's just doing so much work behind, and now we can see the aggression setup. We saw this happening inside of the Week of Prevail. Uncle Dan with a level 1 sentry gun on that close up, and it's one of those things where it's like engineers don't do a ton, but they can be a nuisance if he's supported. But it looks like Froyo Tech's not going to go for the hold. They're going to opt to just back up here. We do have even Ubers on either side, but also Spy coming out from Demento. Double pick class. Very questionable choice here. I don't know if that's going to work out well for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's curious. I mean, Demento is a very good spy, and maybe the surprise factor could do something, but I don't know. He's probably just going for a pick on to Nursey, if I had to guess, or calming some info to his team. But I'm not, I mean, okay, Boris switched off to Scout, and that might help, but Habib chasing forward takes down Daft. I'm not sure, that may have been a drop. I think I heard the crinkle sound, but otherwise, I don't know. Cat Noises, they're getting onto the point, but I'm scared still for them.
I think the spy play actually might work out well for them, but I'm kind of curious. Here comes out the overcharge for Froyo Tech to defend. Double Scout chasing down. They're going all the way through Concrete. Actually, they're going to opt to back up, keep their lives right now as it turns back into a 6v6 fight. Cat Noises is going to try to re-engage using that backstater as Yomps jumps in, gets a lot of damage. Daffodil just unable to keep his life. The Scout will go down, who is really aggressive. That's Eric right now, but it's just a vaccinator medic. It seems like the only medic who's living through any of these fights is the vaccinator medic here. Of Speedy right now, not Demento, who's running that second medic, which, you know, I love Speedy, but I feel like he's just so damn good. I'm hard-pressed not to run him on Scout, but we'll see what they do. 40 seconds left in the clock here. Cat Noises needs to do something, need to do it quickly.
Yeah, and Yomps already jumping behind. We'll keep an eye on him. Oh, he goes down. Merman switched over to Pyro, and that might be the answer. Obviously, Pyro really a hard counter to Soldier, but Habib finds Demento with a pipe in the fray, so with Eric sitting up on the cliff side and really no one to contest him, we'll see exactly how Cat Noises can get by his sight line.
I just want to point out that Uncle Dane just completely stifled that push. Like, it didn't seem like it as Eric kills Daffodil. Once again, Daff not living is like... Cat Noises, they wanted to walk across the point. They wanted to do it, but they couldn't, as Eric brings down another headshot. 3 seconds left here, but that sentry gun is going to be like the reason they couldn't do it, and it's going to be a clean 3-0 in the favor of Froyo Tech as they are going to take this first map. But again, it's just like one of these things where it's like once that sentry gun's up, like it makes it so hard because you can't take the ground that you want to. You have to kill the gun first, and if you don't have, you know, a spy class, or you don't have the focus, you only have, you know, they're only running one explosive class to be able to deal with it. And I think it was ultimately, more so than anything else, the class composition that was a downfall there with Cat Noises. But Zeg, what did you see in that first map?
It really was just a bunch of Cat Noises getting outspaced, right? Like, they didn't control. If you had to like break this down to map control percentage, like you do in, you know, traditional sports possession percentage, Froyo Tech owned most of the map most of the time. Yomps on Soldier was getting so much pressure in because Cat Noises was running one scout for the majority of that game. They swapped to 3 at the end. Bor swapped off Sniper, and the reason why he had to swap off Sniper was because Yomps was just controlling the backfield so well. And then whenever they tried to walk forward, Bowl of Mayo had to use most of his spam on the gun. And if that spam goes onto the gun and not onto the point, he can just get rushed down by the double scout setup of Froyo.
Wow, yeah, so let's take a look here on the logs. We are going to be switching. The next map will be upward, so it'll be a very different style of play, so we'll see what they're able to do. But Eric, once again, he was top fragging in that game, and he continued to do it after the first 2 rounds. 29 frags in the favor of Eric, 16 of them coming on Scout. But I just want to point out that he got 13 frags on Sniper in 5 minutes. Like, that's crazy. Like, basically, he just, like, touched Sniper. He just would go to Sniper. He's like, oh, everybody's dead. Bye, everybody. He was doing so much work. Yomps himself, 20 frags, and that was, you know, we kind of talked, you know, the space just, it just always felt like a nuisance. They didn't really have any way to deal with him. And I'm kind of surprised. I don't feel like the bombing route that he would take is one that you traditionally see. You usually see people go connector, but it seemed like he was really uncontested. I don't know. As you're looking at these logs, Vox, what's kind of jumping out at you?
Yeah, I mean, not only just Eric's performance, but he also went 13-0 on Sniper. So he didn't die a single time on Sniper. We saw him go on a couple of 5Ks, and so he was met when he was switching off, he was going back to spawn to do it because he literally just wouldn't die. When you think of a player like Boar, I mean, obviously, I think most people would say he's probably still the strongest sniper usually in most competitive formats. I mean, overall, it was kind of a weak game, and I think it does kind of speak to what Zag kind of hit on for the most part, which is it's just difficult to play offensive sniper in that kind of in that kind of formula because you only have 6 players. In Highlander, you can kind of have that offensive sniper because you have so many people around you that can assist you. Boar didn't have any of that, and he's got a lot of raw talent and raw aim that I think the chat really saw got put on display. But how much of that is sustainable? How often can you expect him to just hit these crazy shots?
And to touch on that 13-0 KDA from Eric's sniper, it is like I said earlier, where when you have the sentry gun denying space, it's so hard to bomb and take down that sniper. Boar was constantly being harassed by Yomps, as we saw. And the whole thing about Eric switching off sniper, he never actually switched off sniper when he was on it. He went it when Froyo Tech had a time advantage on point and owned the point, and then he played it until the round ended every time.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I didn't notice that. So yeah, good point. But otherwise too, I mean, you alluded to it as well, Sigafu, like kind of Boar always being not Boar, sorry, Bull always being the most forward person on this team. He was the person in the server with the most damage taken per minute. Not only that, he soaked up 42% of the heals from the medics. Or I guess I'm only looking at one of the medics. So slightly incorrect there, but he soaked up a ton of heals is really the moral of the story. And when you think about your demo taking up that much, how much is being divvied up to the other classes when you have 2 medics at any given point? We hit on this quite a bit, so I don't want to kind of talk in circles, but where else can those heals go? Where how is your scout going to take an engagement at 125 when the other scout is at 185 consistently? So
Well, and that's just it. Yamps was constantly going behind enemy lines. He was creating havoc, with 300 health. He'd bomb in using the gunboats, be able to get around. I mean, that's just kind of one of the things that makes the gunboat so powerful is you take no damage once you're, fully buffed up to 300. But yeah, so just like, what did, Cat Noises do to harass the enemy team? Like nothing. And they couldn't really do anything. As you said, from the sentry gun, the double medic combo setup also doesn't allow you to give that other person to be able to do that, and I mean, it's like one of these things where it's like people talk about, the double medic meta and stuff like that. And it's so overpowered and different stuff. And it's like, well, maybe it would have been better if they had no sniper there for a little bit, or if they adjusted it a little bit. And obviously there is a quality level coming out of Froyo Tech that's working out really well for them. But if something's like completely overpowered and cannot be countered, right? Like you should be able to make up that gap. If you're in like, these guys, they've met on Prolander. They're close matches. This is not as much as this seems. I mean, you have freaking Boar on your team, right? He's a class act. I mean, so many good players on either side. It's just kind of impressive to see this, but I'm looking forward to here as we can adjust and talk a little bit about what we're looking forward to in this best of 3 map series. So Cat Noises, they're going to need to take the next 2 maps if they're going to have a chance, but the start off first, they're going to need to win Upward. And these teams, they met with the exact same lineup on Upward, and Cat Noises beat Froyo Tech very decisively 2-0. And I guess, Zeg, I know you kind of had some ideas and thoughts about, what we can expect out of the class compositions coming in here to Upward.
Yeah, right. So Froyo Tech, with Uncle Dan, they will be running permanent engineer defense for sure. On offense, we might see him switch to scout for cart pushing at some point, but I really do think he's going to be on engineer duty for most of the map, as engineer pushing upward last and pushing upward second is pretty good because of the spawns being far back. Other than that, I'd expect Froyo to run pretty traditional setup. They might run Eric on sniper a bit more, especially because payload, there's a lot more space you can work with than on Koth traditionally. Cat Noises is where the real intrigue comes in because Boar is likely going to be running perma sniper, right? It's his thing, and payload just suit for it, especially on defense and offense for picks. The issue there comes with, again, you run the risk of having too little DM classes to push into things like a gun when Froyo Tech are going to be running that with Uncle Dane. So we'll have to see how they juggle the class compositions there to make sure that they do have enough firepower. You know, whether or not Boar starts going off and it doesn't really matter as much, that's yet to be seen. But there is a lot of variability that can come with the class comps from Cat Noises on offense and defense here. We might even see them not run Engineer on some points on defense.
Yeah, I'd be curious. I don't know. I guess Vox, what are you looking forward to in this match? I mean, what do you think that we're going to need to see out of Cat Noises to turn this game around and see them take a 2-0 victory cleanly, or just take any victory? I think they'll take a 2-1 if they have to on Upward.
Yeah, I mean, I did watch the bloodbath that was, what, week 2, week 3 between these two teams on Upward, and I really hope, you know, Cat Noises aren't feeling too down after Viaduct, because it can be demoralizing getting wiped out 3-0 like that, but they should know and understand that, you know, this is the same team, you know, the same lineups that played on Upward where they won 2-0, and, you know, it's decisive in the sense that it went 2-0, but they ended up being pretty close rounds themselves. So they should really be kind of expecting that this is their home turf, and Froyo Tech should be the ones scared when playing on it. So I think that there's not too much that Cat Noises need to change in terms of how are they going to approach this. I can't remember, honestly, off the top of my head, like what their meta composition looked like back those, I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago or so, 3-4 weeks. But, you know, just whatever feels comfortable, whatever they did last time, you know, Lightning can strike twice, and just making sure that Boar is protected, making sure that they have players that can be in a position to take advantage of Froyo Tech's weaknesses.
So, Zeg, why don't you talk about here, as we're in the setup round, what it is looking like our class compositions are going to be here, starting out as looks like Cat Noise is going to be on defense to defend the time.
This is a very interesting comp out here for Cat Noises. They're running double medic, double demo man, engineer, sniper. So Demento is going to play that engineer on defense for first point. You know, that's pretty good because you always will get a full setup. You know, level 3 everything. Boar is running his sniper, you know, that's as much as expected. Double Demo Man is a bit weird, because at this point, you don't really have many classes that are good at denying the space that teams used to push upward first. You can spam over the hill, sure, you can spam up to playground, sure, but you're not running a pyro, you're not running a heavy. So the heavy can't defend the playground area from bombers, and the pyro can't air blast the Uber oncoming. We'll look that they're running, you know, one vaccinator that's likely to help pocket Boar with, make sure he can go on a tear, because they really do need it with this comp. You know, this comp is really just to kill them before they even get close to you. Otherwise, you don't really have much to deny Ubers.
Yeah, no, it's really true. It's like, cause just think what's gonna happen when Yam spawns in, like, you know, and the gun's not up. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, there's no real counter to it. It's like they have to hit their pipes or they're dead. And we'll see if they're able to do just that right now. As Froyo Tech, they're running a pyro demo heavy, sniper, and they're running double medic. But again, I think Banny's only running the medic. They're actually on crits.
Yeah.
Wait, they're on Vax crits creep?
Yeah, they always run crits because it goes through vaccinator. So they try to just kill the enemy medic with Uber charge first, and then they'll use their own Uber.
But I'm saying is they're not even running Uber. They're just running. I was like expecting them to be having the Uber sitting, but they're saving the Uber in spawn. They're running a vaccinator medic. They're actually using the vac to get the advantage on the sniping because the sniper can't die. Look at this. This is actually kind of interesting. They're trying to use Eric to get an opening kill onto the enemy sniper, and then they can push off of that. But here comes out the crits creek. It looks like it's gonna be here on Habib, but Eric actually loses despite having the vac buff. Here comes out the crits creek. Come down to he gets 3 right there. Oh my goodness! And he continues to push on.
4.
He wants all of them dead right now. He's gonna try to go up on the cliff. The gun's gonna go down, but that crit string was not expected, and Cat Noises got decimated from it. But hang on, baby.
That's the downside of no pyro, no heavy. Nothing can deny that crits.
Yeah, this Habib's guy is pretty good. I mean, they should probably pick him up for their team. What do you think? I mean, his tryout's obviously going pretty well. Now, the guy is nuts. And there he goes, getting a crater onto Boar as well. So little extension there of his kill streak. Demento over to heavy. And yeah, no engineer on the defense. But I mean, for Cat Noises, that is absolutely rough. Still no Uber for Froyo Tech. And I mean, if Habib can replicate that, they might not even need it.
Yeah, they are still running that double medic, which one of the things that I saw Nursey comment about is that not having the second medic really kind of worked against them. You know, she thought on offense. They're also running a heavy, which I think is fine because I don't think Engineer is that strong on the second point. And right now, a good job is actually out of the Soldier, Mirror Man, defending cart. So Froyo Tech, they're taking ground right now. Here comes the crit speed, but nobody is even close. Great job kiting this crit streak entirely. And here comes the Soldier. I don't know why he gave up the cart path, and he's probably going to die. He's going to go behind the house. Boar does take down Habib, though. And so nobody's here to protect the medics right now. They have nobody to protect. It's just the sniper. We'll see if they can take ground off this, as they're going to try to defend the cart as well. But this is actually looking pretty good for Cat Noises.
Yeah, they just had a chase for the medics, and there is Mirror Man. He's in, but that resistance is going. Oh, it's beautiful. Bandit gets a saw off. They're going in. They want to get these medics, but now the respawns are here. Habib there to try to protect. I think a headshot even rang out on one of the medics, but it didn't matter for that vaccinator. That was just a beautiful sequence from Froyo Tech. I don't know how they're alive. Maybe it was just a little bit of, you know, playing scared from Cat Noises, because they really could have collapsed. But, you know, now at this point, they might even lose second. They still got some semblance of a defense, but not as good as it could have been.
And here comes out the Uber charge. They had it ready to go. They're chasing down. Sentry Gun's going to go down. The explosive blast is going on to the sniper. He's going to take him. But what else can they do? Yams, he gets the whip. He takes down the medic with the heavy's there to help defend. Here comes in the Soldier. Pops up the vaccinator medic away. Gets a lot of damage onto Habib, but doesn't try to clean it up. I don't think he realized how low he was. And just these three players left to defend the cart. But what can they do with this? The vaccinator medic. I mean, this is the thing, is that when you run double medic on offense, it makes it a lot harder to get a frag in the crit streak. Trying to get something, and he will be able to take down Speedy as well as take down the cart, but this point was already captured. I think they could have held on to that crit streak until the third point.
Yeah, a little bit of an insurance policy. Wanted to make sure that they could grab it. And if I remember correctly, I think part of Cat Noise's really strong defense in that earlier match had come down to third and last point. Right now, their defense for third really isn't there. But the cart is just so far back and not being pushed right now that if they can just get a couple players down for Froyo Tech, they're going to have no problem setting up this defense. So with Boar finding a headshot onto Eric, and now Yamps going down and the players of Froyo Tech backing up, that's exactly what's happened. So they tried to take the forward ground. Good job by Cat Noises to not just give it up. They fought for it, and now they have a chance to really hold third.
You know, you can see one. Sorry, go ahead, Seg.
No engineer defense, but Mirrorman is on Pyro. Pyro is so important for this point because you can deny Uber around the corner, and also Air Blast cart pushes off. So we're on Pyro for that.
The other thing too is that because it's close quarters, the Pyro can jump down and go against the one thing that's been keeping Froyo Tech's medics alive has been the vaccinator resistance. Now you have all three resistances ready to go. You can see the Soldier coming up here from the Sea House, getting air blasted back. He goes off the cliff. There you go, Yams. The first one to go down there. As the cart's being pushed up here, Eric's going to get a headshot on the Boar, and so that's going to force Cat Noises to play a little bit safer here because they do have to worry about that sniper trying to get a sight line in. Are they going to be playing too safe, though? Here comes up the crit screen.
Yeah, the Uber gets popped in return, so just want to make sure they keep their players alive. Mirrorman pushing so Uncle Dane off the cliff, and Bull with the bottle taken down. Habib, Mirrorman gets another. Yamps gets picked up. He's going to run away, try to grab that back.
He reflected the needle.
Yeah, that was so nice. That was so nice. Oh, Mirrorman, that is
for the kill.
I have never seen that happen. I'm like, oh man, this is going to be a kill on the Mirror Man. He's got no health. He reflected the medic needle. That is so cool. I didn't even know that was a thing that's possible, but I guess it's a projectile. And so there you go. Banny is going to go down trying to chase that frag. As the cart's going to work its way up here. Actually, the Soldier's going to die trying to take some foreground for his team. So Boar set back up, and this is looking like a good defense here for Cat Noises right now. They do have the Ubercharge advantage as well as the Vaccinator to keep their people alive. So this Krieg isn't that big of a worry. But the big thing Cat Noises needs to do right now is defend the cart and not die to Eric. But they can't do that right now as Boar rings up a headshot.
Yeah, and this is, you know, so far such a good defense from Cat Noises. I'm just thrilled to see it because they really did obviously struggle on that first, and second was kind of rocky, but a little bit better as yet again Yamps is trying to jump in. Uber actually gets popped. He's not really forced off of anything, but you know, this can work out if they're able to chase him down. Boar found another. Speedy is dead, but I don't know, that use kind of worked out to push him back, but now you got to worry about a crits and nothing to stop it besides maybe that vaccinator.
Speaking of the vaccinator, Boar has position on ramp, so it's a lot harder to push out of this house for them. They need to get a counter snipe on Boar if they want to use that crits.
And plus, currently he's being bullet resisted, so it's making it that much harder. But here, they popped out with the bullet resistance to make sure they could run out of that house. They have a sticky trap up, but it's not going to be enough. Here comes out Habib. He takes down Bolt early on here, chasing for more, but the Vaccinator's doing a good job, doing some resistance to get that board, trying to find a headshot, as Demento's going to be able to make a play out here on the right-hand side. Nobody has him. Finally, they are going to start to put some pressure on him, but all of Froyo Tech players are here, as a Heavy with the Fist of Steel is going to be able to push this cart, but so many frags going in the favor of Froyo Tech right there inside of that house. And now the medic's probably going to go down here as Mirrorman jumps in. Great reflect, actually, as Mirrorman defends his medic, but Bull will die. Wow,
Ooh,
Bull actually kept his
play.
life. Nice job.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder if they still had that Uber, if things could have been differently. It's hard to criticize a play like that, and because we can see everything, and it's easy to judge after the fact. But you know, that is still a really solid third hold. 7.5 minutes right now for Froyo Tech. So if they can just replicate the same success as Eric goes down Boar with a little bit of Girardi ham, but. You know, if they could replicate that same success, they can put up a pretty decent defense after it looked almost like it was going to be a roll from Froyo after those first 2 points. So Cat Noise is really showing that mental fortitude and you know, showing that they have resolve under pressure.
And this is one of the things Aldane does get taken down there on cart, so nobody's pushing the cart here for Froyo Tech right now. But we've seen out of Cat Noises, they don't play in tiles, but they play back up. Here comes up the crit screen, going straight onto the enemy sniper, but the resistance is going to be able to deal with that. Bull doing a great job not allowing Habib to peek out of that window to get any of those crit screen. And that crit screen was completely denied right there. And so Froyo Tech's going to need to get something else up their sleeve, as looks like Uncle Dane, he's on Heavy. He's using the Fist of Steel to sit on the cart to take that reduced damage and push it up. And Froyo Tech, they're just going to take control of tiles from a different angle to see if that helps them out a little bit more.
Yeah, they have to get this gun as well in their Uber, and you know, if tiles is free, you have to take that positioning.
Yeah, so they are going to be walking up there. Eric finds a headshot onto Boar, and that really could be a problem because Boar has really been so impactful and just someone to be afraid of. So Eric has free reign, takes down Demento's gun as Yamps falls to Mirrorman, but these respawns are coming in. They're going to get one off the cart, at least chase
Demento on
that
Spy.
medic back. And yeah, Demento on Spy. I love Demento on Spy. He's just one of my favorite players to watch on that glass, and there he goes, getting a backstab. Habib got picked up by Boar as well. So good positioning. This defense has yet another hope as Yamps is up top in tiles, but right now just kind of flirting around with Mole.
The interesting thing here is that what I love about Cat Noise is they're just doing so many interesting things. They're running an engineer, then they run a spy, and then they go off the spy back to engineer once he gets set back up. They're holding on top of their own spawn, which is something you never see teams do in any other format. I just love that Cat Noise is really kind of trying to figure out this format, figure out ways to optimize the format and to play the best that they can, but Froyo Tech, they're playing the best they can. Eric taking a headshot onto Boar. And so you see Froyo Tech, they're walking in here. Sentry gun goes down. Here comes in the bomb in. Doing a lot. Good job with the vac coming in just in time. He's not able to get it. He tried to get the melee out there.
Dane's on
Here
cart.
comes in the second soldier bomb onto the cart. Here comes in the pyro. Should be able to push Uncle Dane, but it's Uncle Dane. He somehow surfs that on Heavy. Now he's going to finally go down, and they're going to be back in the spy class. As Soldier is going to be able to take down Daffel. No, he's going to keep his life somehow. And here comes out the Devilman coming through that main side, but isn't able to find anything with it. And Cat Noise is once again having a solid defense.
Yeah, and I apologize if this was mentioned, but Banny over on Soldier now, so no longer having that double medic. And I think really the idea here is
It's to bomb,
we have
it's to
the
bomb
cart.
them out there. They need
Yeah.
to bomb them off the high ground.
Yeah, they've got the cart in a good position. They really kind of, at this point, it's just about getting across the finish line and maybe not too worried about having the crits. But maybe Nursey, if you're just gonna have the single medic, maybe Nursey should switch over to Uber. But I mean, she's staying alive with the Vax. As a reflect kill from Mirrorman, nice job coming out from him there. But maybe that Uber, despite Nursey staying alive, maybe the Uber will allow you to get over that finish line.
Yeah, Boar also on a 5K right now. This card's rolling backwards. No one's been able to touch it. I think also the idea of Uncle Day on a Heavy with the Fist of Steel, I think that's a great idea, but I think he's going in a little bit too early. He's getting to focus down a little bit too much during these fights. But here we go. We got Habib. I believe that, not Habib, that's Yams pushing up the cart here, doing a good job. He's going to probably jump back out, but he's just getting in position. The cart, actually, yeah, the gun's going to get a lot of damage onto him, which I don't think he was expecting. So he's going to go down, and we are seeing a double Uber. Double medic with Crit Screg Vaccinator here for Froyo Tech once again. But I don't know. Maybe offensive sniper's not the best here. I don't know, but here we go. Flank play coming in from Mirrorman. What's he gonna do? He's gonna get everybody. He's gonna get so much damage down. But how much more can he get? Uncle Dane's soaking up so much of that damage. He just blocked it off. Hubris Charge is gonna be used, going all the way around, getting a lot of damage onto the Kritzkrieg medic. That's gonna be Banny being taken out. The soldier Yams is gonna get a frag onto Mirrorman. So I'm not sure if they got what they wanted out of that situation, but they did get a couple frags. That's going to reset Froyo for another at least 20 seconds here. But, I mean, the thing is they killed everybody, but they're already back up, and now they don't have Uber Charge to defend.
I wish that happened with a flog instead of the degreaser. Just like the sadist in me wanted to watch that go down, but nonetheless, I mean, it's still, you know, effective play. Like you said, they do have to reset in terms of their Uber, but Froyo Tech are also going to have to reset in theirs. I mean, the Kritzkrieg does charge faster, but right now it's pretty even between the two. So Froyo's going to have to jump right on it. Getting aggressive right now is Bull. I think he got pushed in by Sticky. He wasn't expecting it to. He's going to go down. But Boar, now on a 7K, finds the headshot onto Habib, and he just looks to be in such a good position to do great work.
Yeah, and he just is getting a vaccinator medic. Like, that's gonna be the best thing in the world to be like, I'm gonna run sniper, and I also can't die to enemy snipers because I mean, that's the funny thing is actually, Froyo Tech has tried to run a vaccinator medic on top of Eric, but he has almost lost every single SVS this fight. And I think like Koth, you know, Eric was able to win the sniper v sniper because his team was able to harass Boar, but now Boar is not being harassed, and he is lighting up this field. And
That's
he gets
definitely the
another
case.
one. He gets another one, and he's gonna get out of 10. He cannot be stopped. Oh my goodness, Froyo Tech, they're gonna be having nightmares tonight, tossing their sleep. No more Boar, because he is just dominating them right now.
At this point, you gotta wonder, do you switch off of the sniper? Maybe you get Eric on the spy to try to get that opening pick, because it looks like if Boar goes down for this defense, it's a lot harder for them to actually, you know, get it across. You know, the only thing really standing in their way is Demento's level 3 gun and Bull of Mayo's sticky traps. So, you know, if Boar really is the catalyst here, they gotta find a way to take him down.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they need to run 5 spies. I don't know. I'm just tossing out ideas. But here goes Kritzkrieg.
There it is. Discharging up the sticky Habib. That's just so smart. Mirrorman goes down. The Uber gets popped over on the side of Cat Noises. The gun isn't taken down just yet. There it goes. Rescue Ranger kept it alive for just a little bit, but this is Froyo's best opportunity. I think that if they can't convert it here, they are really screwed. As surfing out there is, they switch off of the medic. They want all damage classes. They need to go in. Boar goes down. This is the final push. As the spy jumps down, Demento gets one with the revolver. Speedy gets another with the pipes. This might actually be holdable by Cat Noises, but they only have 2 alive. The card going forward.
Oh, he tried, but they're gonna get it here. Finally, 14:45. What? Oh,
that is
horrible,
such a bad time. Yeah. It
like,
was just such an impressive defense coming out because Boar, if he's uncontested, that man is the best sniper in the game currently. You cannot disrespect that man, and he will light up your team until you do find a way to kill him. You know, they got a crit sticky snipe when the vaccinator wasn't on him for 1 second, and that was it. You know, off that entire push came off, and you know if Boar's capable of this much, we gotta wonder how Froyo's gonna adapt to facing him. He's gonna run that offense sniper again, so.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And just for anybody who's not familiar right now, welcome out. You're welcome out. No restriction 6s. There is no class limits. There is no weapons ban. This is 6v6 right now here. And you're at the grand finals. $2.3 thousand prize pool that these guys are trying to get the lion share of by winning first place. But the big thing here right now is, yeah, I mean, 14:45, that's a terrible time. In competitive settings, like 8-minute time is solid. Maybe a little bit slower for this meta. Like, it's a little bit slower for no restriction 6s, but 14:45 is really, I don't think, if you're not sure, it's really bad, like we said.
That's
like
an awful
8-minute
Highlander time of all things as well.
Yeah, I mean, Highlander's still like 9 minutes maybe, like on the high average side, but
I do want to point out, Cat Noises are running double sniper offense just to try to get a sniper pick. That's all they want from this. Bandy's running a double engineer defense for a distraction gun. Oh, they drop both.
They do, but yeah, I guess they're using it to supercharge, but this is also their overcharge they get to use. They're using it just to try to get a force onto the enemy medic. They're going to get a frag onto Eric. That's pretty big. Nursey, though, you can see Nursey dodging into that dispenser, so she didn't take any damage despite the dispenser going down half HP, but Sniper very aggressive here up on the stair.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's really rough that they lost Bull early on trying to get that Uber, but they do still have 100% ready to go,
Demento's spy
ready for
in
the
here.
next wave. And yeah, Demento in on Spy. So I mean, at least coming for his team and maybe going for something sneaky. But the Uber comes in, gets the backstab onto Uncle Dane, and just everyone on Froyo is falling. Eric and Banny, the only two left alive. Important that Nursey went down as well. I mean, she's still running Vaccinator, but otherwise things looking good now for Cat Noises to take first, and they really do want to get aggressive and choke them off so they can hopefully grab second relatively quickly off of this as well.
Yams took the teleporter onto Hill, so he might get caught in between the two halves right now.
Well, the big thing is he's going to be able to go back down. He's going to get into the tunnel area. But this is, we saw Nursey run so you saw Froyo Tech run a single medic. Oh, great job focusing down the enemy medic. Great combination play. They're going to try to retake Hill here, but the pyro onto Nursey. And this is where the Vaccinator does not work out well. And this is exactly what we saw out of the weeks. We're going to see Banny be able to clean up these two frags. But so Nursey ran a solo medic vac only in this format in week 2 and got absolutely decimated, in part because of the various the various resistances being ran. They ran a pyro, scout, and explosive, and so it's like one of these things where it's like solo Vaccinator is just not that good. And so we can see actually Nursey, she's off of Vaccinator, which I think is a good play. It's just not that good of a medigun by itself.
Yeah, and I mean, right now the cart was taking quite a bit of time to get there. I know Froyo Tech had been providing a little bit of pressure, but yeah, and everyone's just falling on Cat Noises. Daffodil went down early, Nursey down too on the Froyo Tech side, but I don't know. I kind of thought that second was going to go a lot smoother for Cat Noises, but I think it's one of those things that you get close enough. But unfortunately, you just don't have the cart's not in the right place, despite the fact that you've taken the advantage in terms of positioning. So at this point, Dane has his gun. The sap goes in, may have been a little early because members of Cat Noises weren't in position to take it down, and that is going to cost Mirrorman his life. As well as Demento, the spy. So it was a good idea. The execution just a little bit off, and maybe they can go for that again.
Yeah, it was a perfect idea. If they sat that gun, took that down, they hit a beautiful bomb in as well. Nursey currently has Girardi on her, and so that's going to force her to play very, very safely right now. A lot of capture time. Gun's going to easily get taken up here. Now Froyo Tech have to push out a choke point without Uber. Yams is going to try to do just that, but he's going to retreat with his life. Point's going to go down here. 11 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock here, but Froyo Tech's doing a good job milking off time off the clock there. I think they got at least a few, 30 seconds, 60 more seconds than I thought they would off of that second point.
Biggest thing to look for here is that Froyo swapped Banny onto Demoman, Eric onto Scout, and they're not running a defensive sniper. So Boar's free to do as he likes here.
A little bit of that double demo action, and I mean Banny as well in demo, but the Uber comes in early. Might be ill-advised right now, getting pushed back. Yams doing a great job with his own Uber. Oh, I thought he was gonna get Bull off, but yeah, he surfed it right back underneath the cart path. So
Eric's back
smart play by Bull as Habib goes down, and Bull, little air pipe onto Yams. Mirrorman finds Uncle Dane. Banny goes down as well. Cat Noises are doing it. They're cleaning up in style. This cart is in great position to get capped as soon as they take this gun. So just maybe a very clean third take. I never like to call it early for this point, but it looks really good for Cat Noises to take it. And I don't think Froyo Tech are going to regress.
Mirrorman did a great job getting behind, creating havoc, taking down Uncle Dane, and kind of just being a thorn in the side of Froyo Tech that forced them to have to turn around to deal with it. And this third point is going to go down. There's going to be ample time here for this final point. 10 minutes is going to be left on the clock here to push this. But is Froyo Tech going to be able to pull out a miracle last defense? It's going to be hard for them, but we'll see what they can do. We're coming up with 100% ready to go here. Double medigun.
Double Uber charge. It's two Ubers.
I think that's a really good idea. Over a second, I don't think Vac's going to really do much here on offense. I think double medigun is going to give you 2 pushes back to back. And upward is all about sustaining pushes right now in this side of this point, because you have to not only take ground, but you have to control it because of that cart path. But here we go.
Yeah, the first Uber comes out. They want to get the gun down and already having difficulty just getting that much. So the first Uber really does nothing, but they do have a second one to play with. Eric falls as the second Uber is up in their spawn. Uber charge has to be used by Froyo. They're just kind of staring at each other, a little awkward. Medics, oh, Boar with the shot onto Yamson. This could be the round in favor of Froyo Tech, or sorry, in favor of Cat Noises. There's only 2 members of Froyo Tech left alive. 1 left, that's Bandy. He hits the respawn room. They've got to get on this cart and just finish it off. They should have it. It's going close.
Wiped.
Bandy goes down, and that is going to be the first round for Cat Noises, and that offense was just convincing.
Yeah, I mean, that was about a 6-minute time that they set. I mean, that was blazing fast by Cat Noises.
Yeah, definitely. I want to just point out the main thing I think that they did better than Froyo Tech is they adapted their offense. You know, they ran the 2 snipers on first. They ran the spy on first and second to try to get the gun down early. And once the gun started getting snowball killed, it never got up again the entire round. So, you know, even if Demento just plays that spy for one half of the map and gets the gun rolling, after that they switch to classes that can take ground, you know. We had Mirror Man and Bull just walking forward, destroying the entirety of Froyo's hold on third, and then they just waltzed into last with a double Uber setup. You know, we haven't really seen that out very often, but it was really just a genius move for them to just say, we're going to walk into last, we're going to take as much time as we can to get the card up as close as it can get, and if we win here, we win here. And, you know, they just managed to adapt their offense for something Froyo really couldn't do.
Yeah, they're doing a really great job with that. Boar obviously top fragging that round, 27 frags. I'm guessing a majority, I mean, I would say it's like a majority of those came, you know, from the defense, but yeah, of course they did, because, you know, he was crushing it on defense there. Mirror Man doing a good job, mostly playing Pyro, but his Pyro play is like so superb. I love watching any Pyro who knows how to use a detonator jump really well, and he is one of those players. I'd be curious even to see some like jetpack or something like that, but I mean, what are the stat lines jumping out at you, Vox?
Sorry, I'm having issues getting logs. I lost them.
It's a tough life. Well, one thing also I want to point out here is that Jacob played 6 different classes in that half. I mean, he was actually 5th place in terms of frags. So he was a man of a little bit of everything going on there. Mostly engineer, it looks like, a little bit of heavy, a little bit of medic, but he really kind of, I kind of enjoyed, you know, Demento's play. I feel like he did a good job there. But I guess, Zeg, I mean, is there, what other things can we see here from the logs? I actually am curious about the SVS here of Bull versus Eric. And Bull, so is Boar versus Eric, and Boar killed Eric 6 times, and Eric actually killed Boar 6 times. Wait, what? Oh,
They could have been on different classes as well.
No, but Eric only had 7 frags. Eric had 7 frags, and 6 of them were on Boar.
Well, there we go. I guess that was what he was tasked to do. You know, it might have come in a bit late, but either way, he might need to step up a bit in this next round. Whether they do that by, you know, trying to pocket him harder, which I don't know if that's possible when he has a vaccinator on him, or just try to get him to move around classes more. They could try to do that. The thing I most want to look at here is the medic with 24 assists coming in for Cat Noises.
Yeah, who is
Yeah,
Spode?
the name is different in the logs.
That's Speedy. Okay, so Speedy 24 assists. That's pretty crazy. I mean, just in the action, and it goes to show. I mean, that kill spread, 84 kills for Cat Noises compared to the 50 of Froyo Tech. I mean, just the medics were all around. They were keeping the heals going. We kind of knocked exactly, you know, after Viaduct, I was pretty iffy on what the double medic would look like, and it really, the way it's kind of panning out and looking to me is it might depend for each team and for each map, because for Froyo Tech it did not work out on Upward. They didn't even need to run it on Viaduct, and we saw double medic come out quite a bit for Cat Noises. Very successful here, it looks like, whereas Viaduct, you know, obviously we harped on them quite a bit. So I don't know, maybe Froyo Tech switch it up. Right now they do have 2 medics, but Nursey is back on Uber, and I mean, that's really the important thing to note, because she kind of spent the entire last half on backs.
We'll see what they can do. They're doing the Kritzkrieg. They probably are going to be switching. I wonder if they're going to be running double Uber here, as the Kritzkrieg is going to be running back to spawn, so we'll see what they're going to come back up with, if they're going to be running Vax or if they're going to be running Uber. On offense here, we're seeing double Uber charge being used as they're using the Uber in spawn. That's just to get extra points, in case you're wondering. They want to pad their stats. Even top-level players want to pad their stats in pre-round games. But, you know, I'm guessing, again, we're going to see the same thing. Early Uber in here, trying to get the force off, but we are going to see double Uber on defense, which is something we haven't seen a lot of inside of this format. So very curious to see what we're going to do with that. So double medic, sniper, engineer, demo, soldier for the offense. I'm sorry, for the defense, and then on the offense, soldier, demo, double sniper. So it's actually very, very similar lineups on either side here.
Yeah, once again, they just want to get that entry sniper pick. They do use one of their Ubers immediately to try to get one Uber out, and they do.
Yeah, very successful there in the sense of it's kind of interesting. You think of your suicide wave, like, all right, we got their Uber out. I don't know, maybe are they expecting the second one there? Board did find a shot onto Eric and then one onto Dane. Bull taking out Nursey. So there goes the other
drop.
Uber. Oh my god.
Yeah, what happened there is Boar hit Nursey with the Machina for like 80 damage and then she dropped to 1 sticky. So Boar really getting 4 kills on this point so far.
Oh, Boar is just nasty.
Yeah, Habib's still forward here. He's trying to get a... Oh, what? He
5
popped...
kills.
He
Great
popped
arrow.
the soldier way up into the air, and I think he waved at him as he lost his head on the way down. Boar is going off right now. The cart's rolling forward here, 50 seconds through the first point. Very fast, though we do see, I think it's Banny or Yams is holding inside the tunnel right now. Looks like it's Banny who's going to go for a cheeky play, but he's going to get found out there. Oh, he gets the frag, though.
Yeah, and remember mentioning too, after Viaduct, kind of, you know, Boar was in bad positions, one of the best snipers, if not the best sniper, playing competitive TF2, and you know, he struggled on Viaduct, and given the opportunity to succeed and, like, you know, put in a good position, he is making the most out of every single shot. But Yamson Banny, the double soldier, finding a couple on cat noises, so that that cart is going to get stalled in the tunnel as cat noises want to take some ground up top, but Eric getting in on the action. Boar goes down, so his reign of terror has been paused, but right now Froyo Tech just trying to keep control of that clip.
Instead of a spy, cat noise is running double Uber charge to try to get the gun and then win the fight after.
Which I think can work out well for them. There's also a teleporter right now for Froyo Tech behind cat noises. We'll see if that has any impact, but here comes up
2 Ubers at the same time.
And actually, yeah, that might be a little bit of a mistake. Uncle Dane's being focused down here. Gun's going to go down as well. But here we go. The flashes are coming out. Habib's going to go down here for sure, as he's going to get eat so much damage. The Scout's going to chase back to spawn, but that is 4 players down here for Froyo Tech. Nobody's on the cart right now. And Medic took the telly. Nursey took the telly.
Nursey's behind. Oh no.
I love it.
She got the saw out.
All right, Nursey going up
Nobody
through the
saw her.
bee house. Oh, she just jumps right out. It's beautiful. It's like when a cat goes running on the field at like a baseball game and just like it's just trying to run away from everyone. She makes it back successfully, and actually Froyo Tech defend the point off of it too. The respawns came in. Nursey made it out alive. She was able to heal, and cat noise is just completely oblivious to everything that just happened. And it's just so great sometimes from the spectator view to see those things the players themselves are unaware of.
The big thing here is that cat noises has hill control, so the soldiers are trying to bomb to deny that, and they do kill Bull with it.
Yeah, they came up, and this is just a great cleanup frag here. As I believe it was Yams. Yams going all the way behind. He's going to go for both of these medics. Both of them healing each other, but they're going to arrow. They arrow the other medic. Yams still alive. He has his shotgun out.
He
now
should
going
give
for
them
the melee.
Uber.
He
Oh, he got
the
one, though.
melee kill. But Daff is going to get it. He didn't have the Uber sauce, so he doesn't. He's not able to get any Uber advantage off of that, or at least get a little bit closer here. But I want to point out right now, the Scout is behind them right now. Dane building up his gun. But the big thing that happened in that double Uber push that denied it before, as Daff still is surfing for his life. He didn't crater, but he's going to be chased down here. Great job at Froyo Tech. The aggression is what they need in this situation. It's working out well for them. But I just want to talk really quickly about 2 minutes ago when the double Uber trade coming out. Cat Noises would have taken this point if they focused the objective. You got to remember, at the end of the day, this mode is not about frags. It's about winning the point. And if you're not pushing the cart, it doesn't matter how many frags you're going to get, because that's going to give the defense a chance to get reset up here. And that was a mistake coming out of Cat Noises, and they're paying dearly for it right now.
Boar's only gotten 1 point since that first push. They need to give him more situations where he can succeed. Right now, he's just kind of getting bullied off the hill, really.
Yeah, this is really rough right now for Cat Noises, but maybe an opportunity as Eric and Yamps are both down. Two of obviously the best performers on Froyo Tech. Really, I think you could say that about anyone, to be fair. But Dane's Sentry is going to go down at the same time Mirrorman loses his life. So, you know, you kind of take a step forward and they take a step back in that sense, as Dane's already got his gun coming back up. Uber being used by Froyo Tech, pushing forward 97% right now for Daffodil. Gets it just in time, as I believe that's Banny comes from behind to put some damage down. Unfortunately, there's not really too much that Bull can do, so it really comes off more of an Uber force and not successful in the way that I think Cat Noises wanted to use that Uber.
Uncle Dane also doing a really great job keeping his life. Great reflect coming out there. That's going to actually hit Banny the suicide as he gets pushed back. There are 2 players down, and now Froyo Tech, you can see they're getting into a very passive position. Double bomb going in here onto the Demo Man. That's Habib down, and surely this is Cat Noise's point to take. The Scout's going to go down there from the fire. Actually, nice flare out from Demento. Mirrorman is not playing Pyro, but is Demento. Double Demo out here on the offense, and we'll see if that's going to continue to work out for them as the soldiers pushing into them. They don't really have... He takes down 2 of them. I'm
Both
like,
demos
how
at
are they going
once.
to deal with the soldier pushing into them? It's 2 demos. They really can't. And they just get completely annihilated. If they had any other class, that would have been both of them living there. But the Demo Man just not working out well for them, as Froyo Tech's going to have a chance. But they're set up on third, but they're going for an aggressive hold.
I love it, dude. You know, we ride together, we die together. Friends till the end, pour and pull, the demo combo. But, you know, one thing Cat Noises can look forward to as board does go down is that their offense from third and last was really, really strong in the last one. So despite their struggles, Uber's getting used and really advantage Froyo Tech. Post Uber going in, Banny onto the medic. Is he gonna get the rocket? No, he's gonna go down to poor. But you know, there's a lot of time that Cat Noises can make up, because this was the strongest part of their offense and also the strongest part of their defense. But Dane's level 3 gun is gonna be something in their way.
Yeah, it's a forward gun on that U-turn balcony, and that's very hard to take down without an Uber charge, because you can't even peek out of house without that going on to you.
One other big thing too is that because Froyo Tech's holding aggressively, it's kind of like Uncle Dane's kind of like Boar right now in the way that you have to kill him to want to get forward, but to kill Uncle Dane, to kill this gun, is actually kind of difficult, especially if you're not running like, well, actually, I guess it's just going to go down right there.
Girardi, I think.
Yeah, is a nice cleanup here by Bull and Boar both going down. The Girardi up on the soldier inside the house. They're trying to push through the cart path before they're taking house, and that's kind of working against them, as that's allowing Froyo Tech to kind of go from the balcony side. But they are still working this cart forward right now. I just want to point out right now, this is as getting bombed in. Actually, here comes out the Uber charge. The Scout's going to get taken out as well as the medic. And but there's still one more medic left alive here with 70%, and the spy play is up as Boar is off of Sniper onto Spy. So we'll see if he's going to be able to get anything with that. But I was going to say is that we're like this time, like Cat Noises captured all 4 points by this time last round. So Froyo Tech having obviously a much stronger defense now.
Probably.
Dane's gun is so aggressive here.
Yeah, over up on the catwalk, but Uber getting used, charging forward right now. Speedy, a lot of flashing going on, so not a long Uber. Speedy does go down early, and at this point it's just a straight slugfest between Cat Noises and Froyo. And right now Froyo Tech coming up the advantage. Demento is going down, Board down, Daffodil down, Mirrorman down. Froyo Tech just cleaning up on all of it. So kind of looking pretty strong there on this third defense.
Demento swapped back to double medic, so they're going to look to break this with another double Uber charge. We'll have to see if they're both on Uber. Looks like they both are. So that's their play here, to try to break this hold.
And right now they're getting set up here. They did a good job pushing up that cart during that Uber exchange last time. Nursey getting popped up very awkwardly, gets the Uber forced off. And it's a nice job. They are going to lose Bull in the process, but as long as they can keep Demento goes down. So they do lose one of their medics, but their second medic is going to be able to be kept alive with that heavy. And Boar's going to go down as well. And so that's going to just make Froyo Tech feel a little bit more comfortable. Behind the lines, though, is a Scout. Speedy making a play, getting so much damage onto Froyo Tech, but not able to, secure any frags, really. But Demento, or that's not Demento, Mirrorman on the cart. So this is going to be something that Froyo Tech's going to have to deal with. A heavy on cart is not an easy task unless you can really focus it down. But they're going to be able to do that. They're all collapsing. Never mind.
Yeah, Bull already down. Mirrorman gets picked up. Speedy finds Yamps, but it's more so just a consolation prize at this point because Froyo Tech do have really the full brunt of their defense available. That gun getting built up at the moment as Habib finds one more, but they're just being stymied right now. Cat Noise is trying to find their way over to last. The Uber comes out as I think we are coming into a pause.
We are coming into a pause here. I also want to point out here is that like this is like the thing you don't want to do during Uber pushes. If you're going to push him with an Uber, like you need to have somebody on the cart because those hills are so difficult to deal with. And I think that's one thing that Cat Noises is forgetting to do when they're running double medic is that they need to like time these things to like get people on the cart to go move it up the hill. And I think that's working against them right now. But as you said, we're coming into our first pause here. I mean, we can kind of break down a little bit of what's going on here. So right now, anybody joining us right now, you're watching the No Restriction 6s 6v6 grand finals. It is Froyo Tech versus Cat Noises. There is no weapons bans. There is no class limits. $2,300 prize pool that these guys are fighting for right now. Currently, Froyo Tech, they started out the game. They went up 3-0 cleanly, very easily, actually beat Cat Noises on Viaduct. In the first round, the first half, I guess you would call it, of payload, Cat Noises made Froyo Tech put up a 14-minute defensive time, and then they easily beat that with their own offense about 6 minutes. And now Froyo Tech is doing a great job in the second round to try to force an overtime round if they win this. But Zeg, you know, we've been watching it so far here. What are you seeing out of Cat Noises? Like, what do they need to adjust here on their third offense? Like, why are they getting so stuck by Froyo Tech?
Froyo Tech right now is running a traditional sixes loadout, except they've replaced one scout with Uncle Dane's engineer for defense, right? What this means is what's happening is the reason why Boar has been getting shut down so hard this round and why he's actually bottomed the scoreboard switching off classes and, you know, not playing sniper is because Froyo Tech are running this, you know, double soldier scout loadout, and they're just bombing the hell out of him. He's not getting a chance to set up. It's like Viaduct all over again, where, you know, he's really not having an impact. Froyo now are grouping much tighter, playing much more aggressively, and that having a great defense because of it.
Uber Charge does come out. Froyo Tech's going to return with their own. The card is rolling backwards here, but they do have 80% Uber Charge ready to go, but the soldier is behind. Scouts trying to collapse onto them. Actually, both soldiers are collapsing. Look at this pincing maneuver from Froyo Tech. It's so devastating. They are just getting cleaned up here. Oh. Just absolutely. And this is like what we saw out of Viaduct is like when Froyo Tech was allowed to get behind, that is when Cat Noises got just... They couldn't do anything. They just didn't have an answer to it. And they just were not doing a good job of dealing with it. And so I think that's a big thing for Cat Noises here is they cannot let Yamps or Fanny get behind them to make those flank plays.
Yeah, and apparently Eric too, because he just cleaned up on so much damage in that 4K. Froyo Tech really looking good. Have rebounded after their kind of difficult defense in the first half, but you know they're still kind of in great position. Dane keeping his gun up with the Rescue Ranger. He's been treating them like mini sentries, which I kind of like. It just keeps popping them up as soon as one goes down. Eric on a 12K actually as he finds one, and Habib on a 10K 11. Let's just keep racking up those numbers for Froyo Tech. Looking so good. Under 3 minutes at this point for Cat Noises. And I don't know. I mean, Froyo Tech really kind of did struggle, obviously, as we alluded to, in their first half. But if they can't even grab third, I don't know. Froyo Tech really didn't struggle taking those first 2 points.
I want to talk about the adaptation. They switched between Pyro and Heavy, and that's really a good way to deny the soldier setup as the Uber comes through.
And they do a good job early takeout on Dane, but they need to take out this gun. One pipe, they do it. There you go, 2 players down for Froyo Tech. Can they continue? It's a 4v4 fight. Are they able to take down the soldier behind as well? He's going to be able to win the SP. No, the soldier is going to go down, but the cart rolled back here, and it's a... Yeah, Banny, that's Eric, I'm sorry, on Scout, and he's going to clean up the last 2. And it looks so promising there for Froyo Tech, but once again, or sorry, for Cat Noises. But Froyo Tech's, again, they had players behind, and it's like one of these things that's constantly just being a thorn in their side. And so Eric got a 3K there in the fight. But again, Cat Noises also not focusing the objective enough either as it rolled down the hill. And so this is going to make it that much harder. A minute 40 left in the clock here for them to get the 3rd point. This is just not looking good for them at all.
Yeah, and really just a complete turnaround from what we saw in that first half. All credit goes to Froyo Tech and the adjustments that they've made. I don't want to talk about this last minute and a half like it's a foregone conclusion, because obviously it's still possible to cap it and go for last, but probably looking at a Froyo Tech 15-minute time if that's going to happen. But this defense from Froyo is so good. The way they played forward, they haven't been giving up this corner. And I think that helps a lot when you only have 6 players. You know, we're used to Highlander upward, where you have those extra 3 players forward, and, you know, can be in varying positions. But Froyo know that they need to be aggressive, and every single thing they do, it just seems like they can't make any mistakes right now.
And the big thing right now is there's so right. What happened right there is Boar was trying to, because that's the thing that Cat Noises was working off of before. Boar gets a pick, they make plays, they get aggressive off that. Boar is being focused on so heavily, just like he was in Viaduct. You know, he got shot from 2 different soldiers and then bombed by a soldier and bombed by a scout at the same time to clean him up. I know a cinch gun, maybe a level 1 cinch gun, just put it by Boar, put it next to him so he can't be bombed into. 23 seconds left here on the clock. Uncle Dane's gun picks up Speedy. The cart's not in position. The gun is very aggressive, but it's going to pick up one more. Demento will at least get a frag here. It's a 4v4 fight, but the Uber is coming out here, and it is no longer a 4v4 fight. 7 seconds left in the clock, and this is surely Froyo Tech's point to defend.
Yeah.
So coming out for their offense, yeah, Boar just got completely shut down. Like you said with the level 1 Sentry Trident, they tried the heavy with that. You know, just pocket Boar with a heavy and a medic. After the first time they tried the double medic, double Uber setup, didn't work. They didn't come back to it, so they didn't think that was the way to push this. It really just seemed like Cat Noises had no way. They couldn't figure out how to push Froyo's like standard 6's defense plus a gun, which honestly props to Uncle Dane, because he kept moving his gun around. It was never in the same spot, and it kept getting picks and catching people off guard.
And what was also, it was always in awkward positions. I think that's the thing, is that, like, you know, when you put it up on like the balcony side, like if you don't control balcony, it's a really weird angle to shoot while you're also being popped up and move around by the different explosive classes. So starting out here on the offense, Froyo Tech's going to be running Scout, Soldier, Demo, Engineer, and double medic. On defense, we have double Demo, Heavy, double medic, and Sniper. I mean, really, this defense is going to come down to, I just think if Boar can go off, he's going to have a chance. But you know, this is all, but you know, it's kind of hard not to say that Froyo Tech's not going to win this. It's very strange to see a team not be able to take the 3rd point at this level, especially when he pushed in 6 minutes in the first half.
There's a new very interesting adaptation. Is Cat Noises is not running Engineer on first defense. Instead, Demento's running Heavy and standing on Playground to deny bombers, since that was such a big problem for them.
So we'll see what they can do. No Sniper here for Froyo Tech early on, so I guess they're just gonna, you know, and I don't know if how long until Cat Noises realizes this, because that might allow Boar to play a little bit more aggressively, but he's really being pushed hard into. Actually, they're going for the medic.
There's the Heavy.
Demento, there you go. Cleaning that up.
Yeah, maybe they figured it was probably better to just not run a sniper after the last time Boar played defense. Like, you know what? We can probably get more value out of a different class, but that really does open things up for Boar, who's already found himself 2 kills. And as he gets into a rhythm, you know, I feel like that's the most important thing as a sniper, is getting into that rhythm and, you know, the hot and cold streaks that you can go through. And obviously for Boar, most of it is hot, and you guys can see that in the way he plays. But Newberg does get used from Froyo. They push in. The second Uber is a crits creek, so now they know that they've gotten rid of the Uber from the side of Cat Noises as Boar finds another shot, and this crits might clean up on a lot of damage.
They gotta wait for Habib, though.
Yeah, Habib's not up right now, so that's going to slow it down a little bit right now. Boar's not finding anything right now. It's going to toss a Girardi onto the Heavy on cart, who will die very quickly due to that, but Bull is down right now, so they only have 1 Dome Man forward. We'll see if they can get. Here comes the crit screen, and they get 2 immediately with it, make that a 3rd, and they're trying to find more. The Heavy's going to try to run out of here. He's going to die there from Habib. Actually, he kill-binded himself, but that actually might be a bad thing, because that gave more time them for chase down Daffodil, and that is just Bull left here. He's going all the way back to the 2nd point, and they have to defend the 2nd point for another 3 minutes and 40 seconds, or Froyo Tech is going to take this round.
Well, I mean, Froyo Tech, they know that. They're already aggressive. They just want to choke off Cat Noises at their spawn. There's just no holds barred. I mean, only times 1 on the cart, they're just letting Dane push as all the really power classes get forward, but I'd really like to see them go back, and that's what they're going to do after losing Habib. So get the cart into position that it's easy to cap. Uber charges at 100, Kritzkrieg coming up to 60, and then maybe they just go for the 1-2 punch to put the finishing touches on this round.
Yeah, they're all playing cart right now, so they're looking to just pop out of the tunnel or pop out of the U-turn tunnel and just get hill control. Because if they have hill control, they can control the cart path.
On the cart, look at on that tunnel side. I don't know if they're going to know that there's a trap there. Look at the Deadman's watching it. He's waiting for them. He's hoping that they don't pop that Uber charge too early on. Yeah, so he's looking for the Dane, gets headshot onto the carpet. He has a pistol steal. Here comes out the Ubercharge. Looking to go. They're actually going to do this at the same time. They're going to try to pop the Kritzkrieg as well as the Ubercharge. And they're going to use actually the Ubercharge early on here. They're holding on to the Kritzkrieg, going all the way through, getting a lot of damage down onto the enemy medic. But he's actually able to keep his life. Finally will get taken down there, but the soldier will be traded out. 5v5 fight. The cart's being pushed up. They need to get some frags out here, and they need to get them quickly forward, trying to find something, but he doesn't get anything. They're going to hit the Doomman bomb onto the cart, on the backside. A lot of damage onto Dane, but it's not going to be enough. They're going to try to get it. The scout onto it, going for a miracle, gets one. Will he be able to get another? But no, it's going to be Eric landing the scattergun shot, and we are all tied up 1-1 on this second map as we're going to go into the Golden Cap. Froyo Tech on the verge of winning the grand finals.
Yeah, definitely, and it's a very clean half overall from Froyo. You know, their crits plays on first. Both times they've used them, they've been extremely successful. So we might have to see another adaptation from that. Demento swapped to Pyro after he died on the heavy on the first point, so they tried, but it just was too little too late. You know, Froyo on that offense push, they used their Uber first to try to get all the charges, the Vaxi charges, out of the enemy medic before the crits came in. It was a good idea, and even if it wasn't necessary because of the kills they did get, it just shows that Froyo is playing composed right now.
Yeah, and just a complete turnaround from what we saw in the first half. This time, I did not close the logs page, so I'm able to access everything. Eric dropped 30 in that, which is absolutely insane. I mean, yeah, it was a long defense, so there was time to rack up some kills, but dropped 30. They've got 3 players that broke into over 20, whereas on the side of Cat Noise's Boar top the charts at only 12. So it is really paints a stark picture, and kind of not anything that we wouldn't expect after witnessing what went down in that half.
Yeah, the most important stat by far on this page is not Boar's kills, but Boar's deaths. Boar is currently top deathing the server, so it just shows that Froyo Tech have identified him as a threat, and they're playing properly to shut him down.
Yeah, Boar, fourth most player to take, or fourth most damage taken for a player. Yeah, on Sniper, which is very, very unusual. I just want to point out that Eric, I mean, I don't know if it was mentioned, but he only had 6 deaths on Scout.
He had 5 DOMs.
Yeah, he went 30-6 on Scout. On a payload map. Like, that's crazy. I mean, granted, it's mostly on defense, but, I mean, it just shows you how smart. Eric, last round, he got 7 frags in total in about 20 minutes. And now he reversed it completely, went from bottom fragging to top fragging inside the server. He really turned it up, and that's what Froyo Tech needed. They really needed to set that up, and they needed to shut Boar down. They were able to, do those 2 things, but I'm very curious. I mean, they need to get more frags onto Froyo Tech. They need to be able to deal with Froyo Tech's collapsing. The thing that we saw is that Froyo Tech, they're doing a really good job of seeing Boar and just jumping on him. And they're using, the soldier bombing in and the scout to go in, deal damage, and then run back out. They're kind of just hitting and running. And it's working out really well for them, with Yamps being a little bit more of a distraction. But still, Yamps, 24, 11, and 11. So he had a 3.2 KAD, which is crazy for a soldier who's playing more like a roamer, constantly getting behind. You would expect him to be closer to 1-1. But to go to 3-2 or 3-1, that's really impressive for a soldier that's playing behind.
Yeah, and both teams ran, double medic for a bit of time on both rounds, most time on first. But the thing I want to look at as well with that is during that big, giant, long third hold, both teams running 1 medic most of the time. Nursey had 4,000 more heals than the primary medic for Cat Noises. So that probably definitely helps them jump in on board and, hit and run playstyle as well.
Nice. So, Vox, what are you seeing here as you're taking a look at the logs and your kind of thoughts on that last half?
Yeah, I think it's hard to look at logs, or after a game like that, to look at logs and really say, like, find things. It's just not too obvious after watching it. Like, Froyo Tech spent so much time on defense, and defense is usually easier to rack up those kills. I mean, you already mentioned the fact, Eric's crazy performance. I mean, the fact that he only died 6 times on Scout, just getting in on the action. The fact that you can find 30 kills on top of that and only die, I mean, a total of 7 times. So it's not like he was playing scared, playing away. He just sustained and played alive. So obviously a lot of that comes from playing defense. It is usually easier to stay alive and that sort of thing. We saw Boar have such a good performance in the first half on defense and those sorts of things. It's just more comfortable. So obviously the logs are pretty skewed in Froyo Tech's favor. Nursey only dying once, like those sorts of things. I don't know. I want to say it. I guess there's a recency bias there where I'm like, damn, Froyo Tech look really strong and they look like they can close it out in 2-0. But when you really think about the context of the entire game so far, I have no idea how this final half is going to turn out.
I mean, to me, it's like this final half is really going to be dictated on how much can they work, how much can they protect Boar, like how much can they do that. I feel like, the other thing too is Boar's not working. Like I feel like running a spy instead of Boar, if he's just going to be focused down, run a bunch of aggressive classes, run a spy on Cloak and Dagger, and go for those picks mid-game, go for the stab and sap, kind of a play so you don't have to focus down the gun as hard. I feel like, for the thing that Cat Noise is, they need to equalize with pick classes, and if Boar's not doing it, then don't force it. Like, if Boar's not creating space, every time that Cat Noise has been getting Boar's been getting shut down, they've looked terrible, and I feel like they either need to have more DM classes, to work off of it and just to have that extra damage, that more consistent damage, I should say, or they should try to go for a pick class, but it feels like they're kind of just being like, well, Boar's great, and if he goes off, we're going to win. But, if he's not going off, like, what do you do? And if you're not able to protect him, what do you do? Maybe you switch out to have a heavy and you want to run a heavy full time next to Boar. If he's getting focused down on offense, just put a Natasha heavy next to Boar, sit his butt there like a moving sentry gun, and slow down every goddamn player who tries to contest him. Maybe that'll help him out. Basically, Cat Noises needs to figure out, how can we keep Boar alive? How can we not have him take 20 deaths in a round to be able to do what we need to do? And so it looks like here, Froyo Tech, since Cat Noises was able to choose the round start at the very start, Froyo Tech is going to opt to choose to start on defense, which is unusual for them. In Pro Lander, they almost always choose to start on offense. So obviously they're feeling very confident after that last half.
Yeah, they're doing it for a mental thing. They just held on third for defense. They're saying we're going to do it again is what they're saying. And if Boar really can't get going for the sniper, he is a very good scout player as well. You might want to try, switching Boar to scout and having Demento play spy, as he's a prominent spy player. So there's a lot of adaptations Cat Noises could bring in here. For right now, it looks like their offense is going to be the same setup they've been using, double sniper, just look for the first pick.
Let's see what they can do with that. Now, Vox, what are you seeing here with these lineups right now?
This double medic at the start meta is really interesting. So, and not only that, but we had a Kritzkrieg in play, and then switching off to Uber was either Nursey or Banny, but they haven't charged the Uber just yet. It's only at 60%. Oh, all right, it'll get to about 80, so they should have that Uber by the time something happens. But we've also seen just very, very quick on the first use.
This hill
Look at
hold
their
is
positioning.
Interesting. They're trying to they're trying to use their first Uber to bait like the Cat Noises Ubers, right? And then they'll come in from hill with their second Uber.
Right, and they're coming in. Did you see this right now? You can see this Uber charge is being used in response, but Froyo Tech, they played this perfectly. They baited that Uber charge, but they're holding. Are they just going to go for a second hold? They're not even going to hold first. And actually, I don't think that's the worst idea, because Froyo Tech has not done well on the first point. They've been rolled every single time. And so Froyo Tech, they're going to just have this aggressive teleporter up. And they're going to try to go for a very aggressive hill hold here right now, but we'll see what they can do. An interesting choice, but not necessarily the wrong one.
Yeah, the gun is aggressive as well, so it really does say that they want that forward hold. The teleporter not down. Banny does fall. Mirrorman was the one to kind of get forward first, as Boar gets picked up as well. Uber being popped over on the side of Cat Noises to keep people alive as Speedy finds Yams, but Froyo Tech just trying to just trying to kite back and play, keep their players alive so they can keep the aggression going on the hill, and Dane just keeping that sentry alive.
Nursey knocking Forced off. They're so close. She ate one, partial meat shot, but was able to hold off. Habib currently Girardi right now. He's going to play this very passively. The gun will go down as Yam's jumping in onto one medic, and they're going to try to get more. Here comes in the artillery from Froyo Tech. They're going in all the way deep. The medic's going to go down. Both medics down here as they're going to use the Uber charge to keep players alive, and that aggression out of Froyo Tech. They sense the weakness, and they do not give up. The cart, though, did get pushed up there in the meantime. But Froyo Tech doing a great job. And this is kind of one of the things I love to see out of them is they play really unconventional compared to what you traditionally see out of Highlander. But they just see the chance, the opening, and they don't hesitate to take it. And that's what makes them such a great team.
Yeah, they're playing sixes like, traditional sixes meant to be played. They're running the standard loadouts, and they're going as aggressive as they can with all their bombing classes, and it's working. The medics for Cat Noises can't really get charged very well.
We're gonna go down again.
This is really strong from Froyo, just continuing that momentum for the last one. And yeah, Boar falling yet again. I mean, this is a problem. This is something that Cat Noise need to figure out. And actually, they are going to switch Boar over to Scout. Really just struggling to get going on this offensive sniper. So maybe the double Scout is going to do it with the double medic. And already, I mean, Boar is already in the fray. Rather,
yeah, Boar on Scout,
finding one.
Switch.
Yeah, with finding one along with Bull. They take out a bunch of Dane stuff as here comes the Uber from Froyo Tech. They're pushing him back. Demento goes down, just trying to stay alive right now as Daffodil. He's charged up to about 95. Going in for the chase is, I believe that was Eric going in, but right now he's just got to back up, and they've kept Demento alive.
Bull doing a good job taking down one, but they killed the wrong medic inside that process. Of course, they wouldn't know that, but now they have 100% ready to go here for Cat Noises. They have 6 players alive. Yamp's not up here, so they're going to have a man advantage, and they're going to start to push across the point here. Here comes in the Scout leading the charge, trying to do what they can. The Uber charge isn't used off, but it finally will be on to Bull. The gun went down very early on. Dane's going to get traded out here, but the Soldier is still behind. They have to be aware of that, as that's been screwing them over a lot of these fights. And here we go. Soldiers from either side. He's trying to be contested, but he grabs that med pack up there. He's going to be able to hold that high ground as Froyo Tech is going to try to recontest. They're fighting on 3 different fronts, but I don't know if they're going to be able to sustain. There's only 3 players left alive here for Cat Noises. Bull is going to be able to do what he can, but Nursey gets an Uber saw off. They're back up to 95%, and once again, Froyo Tech spreading out, forcing Cat Noises to fight them at multiple angles, and it is just Cat Noises cannot respond to it effectively.
Cat Noise is honestly just playing a bit tilted right now is all I can say, because the Bandy was behind at 1 HP. It was 2 explosive classes on him. They couldn't get it down. None of the 2 scouts turn around to clean him up, and again, the misdirection. They have players all around Cat Noises. They just get cleaned up.
Yeah, and I wonder if the double medic is maybe hurting them too, because when you have those DM fights, there's a trade-off, right? You can say, well, we've got double the amount of heals. That means the fights that we take, we're going to be in a better position, but they're really just not able to spread the heals around enough, and it just allows Froyo Tech to gang up on those, just the remaining 4 DM classes, and really just kind of take favorable engagements, because Nursey is doling out heals just as well as 2 medics are right now. And Uber does get used from Froyo Tech, not really finding as much maybe as they would have hoped, as Speedy gets a backstab onto Dane and Banny goes down, but they do have on the Cat Noise side 1 Uber coming up and another charging from 70.
Yeah, they will have both Ubers up here soon. If they don't take this point with the 2 Uber to 0 advantage, then I'm not sure we can say that they're going to make it to the end of this map.
Speedy also getting himself into position here, but here comes in surely 1 Uber charge, but it's going to be a solo on Bull. This is one of the problems they've been having. Speedy is behind him. He's going to go chase down. He takes down Nursey. That's a great pick, but right now Habib's still behind. Nobody noticed it, and here comes in the collapse. Froyo Tech's going to do what they can. This Uber charge, second Uber charge, is only 92%. The medic doesn't have it. He's going to get hit, but Yams goes down on the card. It's not going to be enough, but they do wipe everybody in the process, so they do come down with this point, but with a very terrible time. 7 minutes, or sorry, only 5:30, so that's not the worst. I thought it was going to be much worse than that. That is not the worst in the world, but the question is, can they continue on here? Froyo Tech's been doing such a good job at stifling them here, as Bull alone, man on an island. He's going to get traded out. He's got to be careful pushing up alone. He's playing this like in Highlander, where he's got so much support, but
Spies
it just doesn't.
Mercy turns around.
It's good spotted out.
Yeah, I mean, 5.5, it's not the end of the world, but it's really one of those things. This could snowball really easily, because 2 minutes to take 2 minutes to take third and 2 to take last, all of a sudden you're at that 9.5 and you're like, oh, you know, it's not a great time, etc., etc. So they really, if they're going to recover this half, they need to have a clean third take, because this is where they got stifled before, but their last also needs to be clean. So I don't know, it's going to be difficult for Cat Noises. They do have every opportunity in the world, even if they continue to struggle on this offense, because of that really strong defense they showed us in the first half that they unfortunately couldn't show us in the second.
Yeah, this third point is where the trauma comes in. We'll have to see if they've adapted and are able to get the cart time as well. They just are waiting for double Uber once again to try to push this.
Yeah, coming up at 100% here for the first supercharge. The card is rolling up, and here we go. It's going to be a Pyro Uber. I love this. There's nothing to defend us on the Froyo Tech side.
Blast.
They're going to air blast Nursey. Nursey going off the cliff, and this might be very good here for Cat Noises. Bull jumping in. He's going to get cleaned up, but the second Uber comes out. It's only used on the medic, and the medic actually gets the Uber saw off. Mirrorman's going to go down. The card goes back down the hill. Oh, no. Cat Noises being cleaned up here. The scout and the medic on the cart, but he's able to get one kill, but the medic's going to go down, and they get denied. Oh, it looks so good for them, but it just... like, again, they're taking these Uber fights alone. They need to be together. They need to be playing together. That's one thing I talked about in the pregame. Is if you're going to run double medic, you really need to run cleanly. You need to run together. And Cat Noises, they're playing too much as individuals, and it's working against them.
Yeah, I don't know. Something needs to change, because 9 times out of 10, that really should be a point take. And I wonder, like Zag had said earlier, if there's some tilting maybe going on the Cat Noises side, because after something like that happens, everyone's like, yeah, okay, cool. We got so and so down, we got their medic down, Ubers have been traded out, let's push forward, and then all of a sudden, you are back at square one, and your enemy has the advantage. Like, wait, how did we get here again? So, I don't know, this could be a problem for Cat Noises, but Uber does get used on the side of Froyo. Good job by Mirrorman. I mean, he denied the majority of it. Boar still falls. Eric kind of getting in on a scatter gun, but maybe now with the 2 Ubers, this is their opportunity to get third, but they just got to keep both medics alive.
The bleeding players, so that's really kind of one of the things that's going wrong there. Is they're like, okay, like they're getting in position, but they are going to get their players back up. So we'll see what they can do. 5 minutes left in the clock here. Card at the bottom of the hill, and that is the thing that is, even if they take control of one good fight, they're going to need to keep pushing that card up there, and it's going to be a little while. The Scott's not even going to touch it. No! Oh my goodness, a trap comes out there. A trap right above the door. A disaster for Cat Noises once again. Speedy will come in, take down Nursey though, so that will at least be some boom there. They have a 100% Ubercharge ready to go. The respawns are going to be coming up here very shortly. They can push this. I think they need to bring in Mirrorman, straightforward WM1 Ubercharge, just do as much damage as he possibly can, but we'll see what they can do.
Yeah, that was
double scout now, because they want one on the Uber and one to push cart.
Yeah, and it was so important to keep Daffodil alive, and that Bulk was down, yeah. I mean, the Uber this time actually can get used, so maybe still opportunity for Cat Noises as Mirrorman tries to focus as much as he can with those flames, but there's no one else available to clean up on the damage. Speedy did find a couple, I believe, with Dane down and Banny as well. But, you know, who else is available now for Cat Noises to get in on this? Boar was the only one in at that point as he goes down, and Cat Noises, they really are floundering after what seemed to be such a strong start in the beginning.
They're doing a good job on the card. Look at this card. They get the Mirrorman on it, denying any sort of pressure on top of it. This is what they've really been needing to do for a while. It's just kind of get their positioning just a little bit better, because it forces Froyo Tech to have to not only take the fight, but have to defend the card during the pushes. And Cat Noises has been really trying to do this. The other thing too is I think it would have made sense for Cat Noises to drop the second medic once they got Nursey down. They had the Uber advantage. They have, you know, like, why not get the extra DPS to take the point rather than the second medic, which isn't going to do anything. They're not going to have Uber charge for another 60 seconds or 45 seconds, you know? So I feel like that was a little bit of a misplay. Cat Noises being a little bit guided in here, but here comes out the Uber charge. It's going to be focused this down, going on to Nursey. She's going to be able to return in kind. 91% on that second Uber charge. 95 won't be able to get up in time to do anything. 6v6 fight here still. Scout is behind enemy lines right now for Cat Noises, and here comes out the second Uber charge. It's going to be focused on to Mirrorman, going forward, trying to get some damage down. The gun's going to get taken out, but the soldier did go behind. Mirrorman trying to find frags. He's not going to find much besides Uncle Dane. A little bit more damage, but here comes from the Scout from behind for Cat Cat Noises. He's trying to do what they can. 2 players down right now for Froyo Tech.
Please
They're gonna
push
be able
the
to do
cart.
this, but the cart is rolling backwards right now. They're trying to hold that forward ground, but it's not going to be enough. Bull goes down, and Froyo Tech's going to be able to re-engage back out on here. They're not getting enough frags in these fights, and the cart wasn't pushed at all during this either, and so Froyo Tech is going to be able to hold on to this.
I mean, how many times can you push with 100% advantage? Because that's really what this double medic is giving them. They use one Uber, they trade out the Uber with Nursey, and then they have usually a 6v6, or, you know, on some occasions we saw the 5v6 at full Uber advantage, and they still cannot get this point. Froyo Tech are just playing so much better than Cat Noises, and, you know, usually try to find qualifications or things like that. No, they're just getting beat right now. If you can't win a 6v6 on multiple occasions with full Uber ad, I don't know. I mean, Froyo Tech are just proving that right now they're not only the stronger team in terms of DM, the strategy that they have is just so much better than what Cat Noises can throw at them.
A repeat of last round, as Eric currently on a 14 kill streak with 4 doms. It's literally just returning back the clocks on this one. It's rewind time.
I would have loved to see that Pyro Uber with the Scout in front as well to be able to get that extra damage, because Mirrorman did a lot of damage, but he wasn't able to secure anything. Mirrorman actually is probably going to go down here. No, he's going to be able to keep his life. 75%, but a minute left on the clock here for the 3rd point. But the thing is, you got to remember the Cat Noises, they held Froyo Tech for 14 minutes in the first round here. The cart is rolling backwards. You got to make sure to touch that. Okay, so this is going to force Froyo Tech. They're going to have to put some spam onto the cart. Here comes out the Uber charge from either side. Mirrorman is currently behind. He could go for a play and push everybody off the cliff. He's going to go for it. He's going to go for Habib at least. He does get Habib off the cliff, but he actually gets pushed off himself. In the meantime, the cart is not in a position, needs to be pushed. The Heavy's going to walk down to the cart, and the Heavy on the cart, this should be able to defend it very easily against the low health soldier as well as the Scout. And they're going to be able to do just that. This 3rd point is going to be kept. Get on the cart. He's letting it get on the cart. Just stay on the goddamn cart, Cat Noises, please. The medic's going to go down, and they might lose this because of Demento getting off the cart. Or not, that's not Demento. Speedy. They're going to finally get it, but man, the objective-based gameplay in the side map is a struggling idea for Cat Noises.
Don't we always mention
13.
that, like, you know, Froyo Tech, you know, mostly 6s players, they might not be as comfortable on payload, often forget the objective, but Cat Noises, now those are a bunch of players that, you know, traditionally have played Highland. Or, like, what, have they forgotten what, you know, the objective of payload? It's looking a little rough right now. Might have to take him back to school for a little bit, but they are getting the cart forward. This seems like their best opportunity. 13 minutes, as you mentioned, but there's not much time for them to waste in order to get this, so they have to go in now, really. Get this Uber out of Nursey, keep players alive, and just keep pushing.
Well, they have Mirrorman in position to go for a WM1 play. They need a pincer, though. They need somebody on the front stairs and the back stairs of tiles. The Heavy's going to actually get a frag here onto Yams. That's pretty good here. Here comes in Mirrorman. He looks like he wants to make a play. Bull through the main. Will take down the gun, and he gets the force off. There you go, from Nursey. And so that's going to be able to help them out, but they got to keep both of their medics alive, and they're being chased down. Daffodil's going to go down as well.
They lost both of their medics to those pipes.
Demento. That is not good. That is not good at all. They got what they wanted out of the start of that situation, but they couldn't protect their medics in the end.
Everything.
Mirrorman on the play, though. Look at Mirrorman on the flank. He's going to get a lot of damage down, but not enough.
Habib is so good, dude. There he goes, just getting a couple more stickies. He finds both medics, and really, and that's coming in the clutch. You know, like right now, we've been speaking a lot from the perspective of Cat Noises, but for Habib to recognize the fact that, you know, this is a huge opportunity for him to go in, and if he can get both medics, just absolutely cripple all their chances. Just great job by him to kind of recognize the situation and play to it. And just like that, everyone on Cat Noises go down yet again. Both their medics fall early, and they're just kind of going into this meat grinder of tiles, and that's why it's such a strong place to hold, because you are walking usually in one or two choke points. And just Froyo Tech are keeping a stranglehold on them.
I'd be kind of wondering if you just ran like 2 pyros, like just like come up a pyro from either side and just push straight onto them. Like, what can Froyo Tech really do to? I guess they have a pyro now, but like, how do you defend against that? If you have pyros, just W1 to either side. But no, the gun. But if you take down the gun, right? Like it is dead now, right? Like, how do you defend against like just pyros pincering you from either side? It's kind of a wonky way to do that. I don't know, but they need to figure out something right now. Soldier's going to be able to get a frag. Nursey's going to pop off for Uber. I'm not sure for what, as Demento went down, so that's one of the medics being taken out. The medic Daffodil no, you're not going to get out alive. This isn't one of those movies. And so looks like the ending for this one is going to be Cat Noises being held at 30 minute 35 on the clock. This is possible, but it's not looking good here for Cat Noises.
Yeah, Demento switched to Pyro, so he is looking to do that, you know, walk into upper, and Daff is Soul Medic, so he will build a bit faster, but Nursey's going to have an advantage. Dane's gun is going to be up again, and Froyo are running that Pyro to deny one Uber, so do they really have enough time is the question.
Yeah, Habib 6 God. I mean, this guy literally just will not stop killing medics. You know, you mentioned it before and both went down just a little bit ago. He found another pick, and now they're just running this single medic. That's Daffodil is going to stay on it. Uncle Dane is down as well as Sentry. 57 seconds remain, under a minute for Cat Noises. They still have the advantage with no gun up, but they just don't seem to be in a position that where's the urgency? And the whips are coming in. They want to push into tiles, just being denied right now by Eric on that Pyro.
Great Pyro play.
Yeah, Yamps goes down. The Uber gets used by Nursey, but this might be the cleanup. This might be GG, or sorry, I don't want to call it GG, but this might be the half of the half for Froyo Tech.
The end of the round.
Yeah,
20
right.
seconds left in the clock here, as they do take down the gun, but really not much else. It just feels like, so they are going double Pyro. They're doing it. They're doing double Pyro. All right, we'll see what they can do. 16 seconds left on the clock. They have to make sure they take down the gun. If they can do that, this might be a little bit more effective. They have one Pyro. Here we go. They have a Pyro on either stairwell. They're actually rotating over. They're running in, but they just don't have anybody to really support this play. Bull on the cart. He's going to go down. 3 seconds left in the cart or clock. They're going to run onto there, but it's not going to be enough. Mirror Man's left. Make it speedy, and Froyo Tech's going to clean that up. 13 minutes and 3 seconds for the 3 points. So Froyo Tech, they have two different ways that they can win this game. One is that they capture the third point in 13 minutes in 3 seconds, or they capture all 4 points. But right now, Froyo Tech, they are on the golden cap. They're on the match point. If they win this round, they're it. That's it. They are the grand champions. But just to say, anybody who doesn't believe, Cat Noises, they did hold Froyo Tech to a 14-minute time, 15-minute time in the first half. So this is a very, very long upward match. This is the longest ones I've seen in a while, but we'll see what Cat Noises is able to do.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that we've ended up on this overtime half, and really every single half has contained one of these crazy 10-plus minute, usually 13 to 15-minute times. It's just, I don't know. I'm not feeling it right now for Cat Noises, but I'm always happy to be surprised. And Froyo Tech did really struggle in that first half offense.
Biggest thing here is they are running one Kritzkrieg again, and Cat Noises are doing the defense that got them killed by crits in the first, the very first half.
They switched off. They're running double Medigun now on Froyo Tech here, so it looks like they're going to play it. They're just going to go for straight pushes and see what they can do. Or very aggressive, trying to get a snipe onto one of these medics pushing up right now. They're going to go use the Uber charge here very early on to try to get the force off.
Yeah, that Uber, I don't know how much they're going to get out of it. It was used kind of early, but they still do have a lot used kind of forward. Eric did find Boar. That gun's still alive, though, with the double medic as well, just healing around. No Uber being popped from Cat Noises is good, as 80% charging for one of the two medics on Froyo. Not 100% sure which. But this could end up being a problem for Froyo Tech, because they're going to be pushing into a full defense, presumably, and Uber as well.
This point is very holdable if you can pull it off well. We'll see what they can do, but here comes out the Uber charge. The defense has one ready to go. They're going to be able to save Bull. They use the vaccinator. They're backing up here. Bull is disconnected from everybody. He's going to go down. They actually have a chance to try to recontest this, but Yam's jumping in. Shotgun's down. Boris, no sniper here, as he's going to fly off the cliff. It's a 3v3 fight. I think Cat Noises played that really defensively, when I think they could have actually held that a lot more aggressively, given that they had an Uber charge to defend that with.
Yeah, they pulled their gun really early, so nothing was watching for Yams to bomb in. Yams gets behind, kills Boar, and then because of that, their medic is undefended. He gets chased down by a scout, and they just really collapse and lose everyone here. Banny's on soldiers, so Froyo back to a one medic setup, and they're running the traditional sixes class setup again, so watch for heavy aggression quick.
So it looks like that soldier. Yeah, go ahead, Docs.
Yeah, well, I mean, the defense is set up in a pretty good spot, although that gun not usually as aggressive as you'd see. Usually you either see it above the tunnel or over back, kind of on that porch side leading into spawn. So kind of a new spot, well, not new, but, you know, different spot. Does go down for Habib, just so easy to spam from over the cliff. And yeah.
Look, Uncle Dan, I'm sorry, just Uncle Dan on card is completely denying Bull from being able to do anything right now. Boar does get out a headshot, though. Uncle Dan finally will go down, but Froyo Tech wanting to get aggressive with the supercharge.
And with all players still alive for Cat Noises, you wonder, like, this should still be holdable despite the Uber being used by Froyo Tech. The health is not good. Habib goes down, Bandy getting healed up right now. Yamps gets picked up, Bull. Nice pipe there. The card is in good capable position, so even if Froyo Tech do lose a lot of numbers, which is going to be the case here, once they can just get an Uber close, they can start to re-aggress, and that cart should be close enough to maybe just snag it off of the next push.
Daph has a full Uber right now, as well as speedy running the Vaccinator. So if they can kite out Froyo Tech's aggression and give Boar space, and they can hold this for a long time. They're not running an Engineer because of that, though.
Yeah, the card is moving backwards, so doing a good job so far on the defense. Currently, Mirrorman's holding inside of tunnel, so he can make a flank play on Froyo Tech if he needs to. You can see both soldiers getting in position. Here comes in the bomb, and onto Mirrorman. Great reflect, actually, onto the one soldier.
Nurse's dead.
Double bombing in, and they're going to try to do it, but they're cleaning up everybody. 2 players, 3 players down. Daphne's going to drop there. Both medics go down in the process. They had everything to defend it, but they're trying to milk it. I'm not sure if they didn't expect it, but better safe than sorry, and now they're just sorry as Froyo Tech comes down with the second point. 9 minutes and 35 seconds left in the clock here to take this third point, and Froyo Tech is poised, looking great here to win the championship game.
They just aren't able to kite out Freyo's aggression. You know, they drop Uber, lose 2 medics, and what looked at for like a good situation quickly turned into a bad one. Eric back on that 5 DOMs gameplay as Froyo looked to push into third, deny any setup.
Yeah, and the important thing, though, is that this is where Cat Noise's defense in the round that they won really came alive. But speaking of coming alive, the exact opposite is happening, because literally everyone on Cat Noises is dead. Mirrorman did spawn, go through the other, the other entrance, went down, pushed one off of cart, but respawns are just coming up now for some of their players. This cart is going to be in prime position, and I think the problem for Cat Noises is A, the stickies, and B, that their spawns are in opposite waves, so a 3-player spawn, they had to go for it, they're dead. Other 3-player spawn, they go for it, they're gonna be dead. Meanwhile, the cart's getting capped, and I think Froyo are gonna take it.
Yeah, they're going to easily take this ×3 onto the card. They're trying to make this onto it, but this is going to be it here for Froyo Tech. They are going to be the champions of the No Restriction Sixes League. They're going to use Overcharge to BM a little bit. The Spy is going to get up.
Give them a kill. No!
You wanted it, but there you go. Froyo Tech taking it in convincing fashion. 2-1 in that upward match. 3-0 inside of Viaduct, really showing themselves to work really well, though. They didn't have to do a lot of class switching there. They're able to work a lot off their soldier gameplay. I think that was one of the things that separated them out there from Cat Noises. But thank you guys so much. We're going to continue on here. But don't forget, if you guys enjoyed this match, we have a Pro Laner match next week. It's the final week. It's going to be on CP Steel. Toss us a follow. If you like what you're doing, if you support what we're doing, give us a sub and help support our production staff and whatnot. And if you're interested, Highlander is registering right now. You can go to RGL.gg, as we have an insane 1,100 viewers right now. This is amazing. When's the last time you've seen a non-front page NA final here get 1,100 viewers? Thank you so much, everybody, for the support for this league. It's been absolutely phenomenal, and I really cannot speak too much. Just I don't know, it's just really, really amazing, and I really want to say my appreciation for the people coming out here, seeing this game, and just giving a little bit of taste of something new to TF2, which I hope that you guys enjoyed. But as we'll take a look at logs here, don't forget, you can just toss us that follow and whatnot, and support RGL. Also, we got YouTube and Twitter. You can check out those links below. All right, done promoting. Let's talk about logs. Vox, what are you seeing?
I'm pulling them up. Jag, what are you seeing?
I got him up. All right. Habib has beaten out Eric in frags, but Eric got 4 less deaths. Half Habib's deaths, 8-4. Habib, 518 DPM. He broke 500 DPM in a game mode with 6 players on payload on Demoman, so very impressive gameplay from him. Yomps and Banny, followed up. Yomps with 30 bomb as well. 3 players on Froyo breaking 30 frags. And it just goes to show, when they play aggressive like that, Cat Noises just didn't have an answer. They played so many classes to try to find the answer. Speedy played 5, Boar played 4, Demento played 6, but they just really couldn't find that answer to Froyo's aggressive gameplay. And once Froyo got their sorts in order, their strats in order, they really just rolled after that first half. That really looked like Cat Noises had a chance to take this to map 3.
Also, just
Yeah.
real quick, I just want to tell you, sorry, I just don't mean to interrupt, but guys, if you want to try out No Restriction Sixes, we will be hosting another league of that in the not too distant future, but we do host pugs of Prolander and No Restriction Sixes. You can check that out if you're North American, rgl.gg/pugs. Definitely join up to our Discord. We're actually going to be hosting some pugs after this. Hopefully we have enough pug runners to handle whatever capacity that we're going to hit, but rgl.gg/pugs, join up to our Discord, and you yourself can play some of these formats. It's really fun, friendly community. RGL is all about non-toxicity, about having a healthy balance between competition and community. Make sure to check us out. All right, that was the last promotional thing. Take it away, Vox. What did you have to say?
I mean, just looking at the kill spread, not only the fact that the 330 bombs on Froyo, but also 122 kills to 56 is kind of one of the most lopsided things that I've seen against 2 top teams. Like I know Froyo Tech obviously came out and looked so strong overall in this grand final, but nobody on the side of Cat Noises is a slouch. And just the way that they answered back to just shut down Boar. I mean, he had insane stats in that first half. And all of a sudden, they adjusted, they figured it out, and Boar could not get anything going. I mean, he had some impact, he got some picks there, but they really made him look mortal, and just like any other player out there. I mean, overall, really commiserations to Cat Noises. They played a really strong game and a tough one, a grueling one at that. But Froyo Tech just they would not be denied in this. They adjusted so well, and I think everything kind of points to that.
Yeah, it kind of really felt to me like they just kind of went back to what they know, and they just play. I mean, the biggest thing that Froyo Tech is beyond just their top level gameplay and showing who these players are. It's like how smart they are more than anything else. Like I feel like once they got back, that double soldier lineup worked out really well for them because they were just able to so quickly close down on players. They were able to use that speed to take people out, and it was just really impressive in that way. So I mean, like these stat lines are skewed, they're terrible, they're horrible, but that's like any time that like one team gets a really good defense, the stats are going to be really, really skewed in that way. And I kind of wish we saw a 5 CP map. I wish we would have seen what would have happened, but I'm guessing Froyo Tech would have taken it, given that they were just doing such a good job on the speed class, and it just felt like Cat Noises, they just weren't able to really do much with it, despite having uber advantages and stuff like that. It just felt like the difference between the Froyo Tech and Cat Noises. I mean, obviously it was the skill level of Froyo Tech, but also was like the cleanness and the uber charges, and like Cat Noises consistently would have advantages in the game, but they just couldn't get the frags because they were pushing in with solo demo ubers or solo pyro ubers. They were like not together. They needed to pincer. They needed to play together. They needed to get forward ground together, but it was often just players trying to make individual plays, and it felt like that was one of the big things that worked against them, was not so much their class composition, their skill set, but it was their team play that let them down at different times. Like Froyo Tech still might have won the game, but it should have been a lot closer.
Yeah, the main thing I just want to bring up about that is when Froyo Tech were at those like Uber disads where they were, like 0 Uber to 1 or 1 to 2. They just managed to spread out perfectly in a way where it was so hard for Cat Noises to really make focus calls to call out, we need to focus one target, kill them, and then they can have a better post Uber. Froyo Tech really just ran them around in circles with their positioning and their movement. When they run those traditional 6s classes, all of them have tons of movement to work with, and Cat Noises just couldn't pin them down even with those Uber advantages.
And yeah, it seems like they worked out really well. But I guess, Vox, maybe we can kind of circle around here as these stat lines are pretty. But how do you feel like this experiment went as No Restriction Sixes? Like, what did you learn? What did you take away from this experience?
Yeah, I think it does. It offers a lot of creativity to the teams that are playing it. I'm interested. I kind of want to see at a different levels kind of what patterns emerge in terms of what classes do people play, what what weapons do people tend towards? Is it really the fact that the scatter gun is the best option in the hands of your scout, or is it the fact that Eric, Banny, they've played 7 billion combined hours of scout with the scatter gun, and therefore that's their home. I think that the teams that we've watched clearly have embraced the experiment and embrace like the changes that they can make to their gameplay. But I want to kind of see it go further and expand further of like, what can we do to kind of push the limits of the experiment? And I don't know. It was chaotic. I think those first couple weeks too that we watched, people didn't know what to expect, and we had those crazy quick games. I remember Gullywash, it was just kind of like rapid fire in that first week. But as teams kind of settled in and kind of figured out, well, what works best for this defense or this round, this map against this team, we kind of saw some more competitive matches form.
Yeah, and Zig, I mean, what are your takeaways from this?
It's mainly just Froyo Tech is the best team right now, and I don't mean that in a way like, oh, it's they just won grand finals. It's just when it came down to it, they adapted the best. They were able to pull out the strategies that would work in this no restrictions format, and they really just kept their cool even when they were down in the last map. They made the changes that needed to be made. Cat Noises couldn't respond to those in kind, and we just saw them take over the game from that point on.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, it felt like it was like one of these things where Froyo Tech just did so well. I mean, it kind of shows you like what a team that like is on the different classes, and it's kind of unfortunate because you would like to see a little bit more class play working out well, but it also kind of shows you like double medic isn't an instant win, double man isn't an instant win, sniper on defense or offense isn't an instant win. Like you can win, there's a lot of different ways that you can play, but it kind of shows you also just like how powerful a team that knows how to play the game together. It'd be interesting to see like if we had Ascent in here. What would this game look like if we had Ascent playing against Froyo Tech here inside these finals? Or if we had 7, right, coming in here and playing against them and looking like that. But the thing that's been really fun and exciting to see is all the different people coming in here and commenting and who came out here to play inside this format. We had 85 teams who started out the season, like an absolutely crazy number of players. And it's just been so exciting to put this together, because honestly I thought this format would be horrible. Genuinely, I put this together being like, this league's gonna be crap, and like we're gonna be like, all right, this is why this format is crap and we're never ever gonna want to touch it again. But it's been kind of the inverse. We're like, oh, we're like learning things where it's like, maybe these things that we theory crafted to be true are just not actually that way. I'm in that thought process. I'm like, oh, I thought the game would play exactly like this, but I was completely wrong. And I think that's one of the exciting things with that. We have Banny jumping in here. I'm going to get him to do a little bit of an interview with us. So guys, stay tuned. And then we're going to raid Banny after this. So make sure you stay around. We're going to jump over to the Banny stream, but let me bring him in here in a second. So, Box, I guess, I don't know, what are your kind of final thoughts here as we get Banny in?
Final thoughts overall on the match. I mean, it was just utter dominance, I think. Still some signs of life from Cat Noises, and if things do continue for no restriction 6s, which I hope they do, I hope Cat Noises continues in their current iteration. And then overall in the format, I feel like I talk in circles to repeat the same things, but I think that it's an interesting experiment, and I kind of just want to see it expanded and like what other things can be tweaked, and what are ways that we can kind of break competitive TF2 in a sense.
Hey, and we got the one, the only, the Banny man. Welcome out, man.
Hey, thank you.
Congratulations on the win. Obviously tonight it was a little bit of a tough game. You guys obviously maybe got caught off a little off guard there on I mean, Viaduct, you guys looked really strong, but on Upward, obviously it looked a little bit going in the favor of Cat Noises. What adjustments did you guys make in that second half to be able to kind of come out with a really dominant defense against Cat Noises?
We essentially just wanted to shift the momentum to be as oppressive to their sniper as possible. So the sniper was no longer like the dominant factor, and our aggression and like coordination would be what would set the tone instead. So what we ended up doing was just being a lot more aggressive, bombing forward, having people go for flanks, and just collapsing all at the same time. And then we just came up with a pretty good like strat for our holds, like our setup, playing around the sentry, all that. And I in particularly went soldier, and that made a huge difference because it just put an extra bit of like pressure to lock down an additional choke point, so they couldn't like peek in and all that. And eventually they even gave up playing sniper at points, so it seemed to work pretty much perfectly.
Yeah, I think that especially having Yamps play kind of roamer, soldier, and you guys are just kind of doing a really good job spreading yourself out and kind of pincering, cat noise. That worked out really well for them. Now that me and you kind of together, we talked about this. We kind of, I kind of came to you with the idea, and we kind of went back and forth on it to kind of figure out the structure and whatnot. Now that you've like played a season of this, I mean, what are the things that you're taking away from this experience of playing no restriction sixes?
I would say I learned maybe the most in like the last 2 matches, honestly, the playoff matches, just because we were like the most focused and put the most time into like coordinating and all that. And I think that was sort of my biggest takeaway is just like how important it is to coordinate and like really adapt. Because we kind of coasted for most of our like regular season matches, to be honest. We didn't like do a lot of like coordination, like setting up plays, making sure we're on the same page. And considering we were running Uncle Dane on NG so often, that's pretty important because everyone on the team hasn't really practiced with a full-time NG. So once we finally put in that time to like understand how we need to play around it and all that, it made a huge difference. So yeah, that's kind of the big lesson is like, if you want to play non-traditional sort of team compositions, you just have to maybe put in a little bit more time, make sure everyone's on the same page. But then after that, like, it's kind of the same TF2 as ever, you're just playing by a slightly different sort of rules, I guess, for like when aggression is okay, when you can afford to die, etc., etc. So once we kind of got all that together, it was good. Yeah, overall it was pretty fun. I was pretty happy with how it went, and that everyone was like really just focused and was on the dot for like the rotations and adaptations we needed to make.
Yeah. Do you see double medic as a problem in the game?
I'm not a big fan of double medic. I went double medic often. It just felt like on payload in particular, it was a very abusable gimmick just because of the way that it's just structured with like the attack defense sort of dynamics, because the offense can afford to like just waste a bunch of Ubers, and if they force the defense, they just win. So having throwaway medics is like really powerful, and the defense can't afford to do the same thing. So I feel like that is more of a payload issue personally. Similarly, payload, I feel like it is much more sniper dominated. Viaduct, for example, we really didn't feel like we had to worry as much about the 2 medics. Like the flow was a lot more, I don't know, there was a lot more chaos, and we could play the aggression more easily. But because of that like imbalance between risk reward for attack defense, it kind of, I don't know, it has a huge effect on the flow of payload, I'd say. It would have been nice to play them on 5CP. We actually haven't had the chance, so I'm not sure how that plays out, but I'd have to see how that is. But I definitely right now feel like payload is very, very easy to abuse with just the offense advantage, and it's kind of, I don't know.
Except that they couldn't do that. Like, it is kind of messed up, but you guys also played really well into it, and I think you guys having that extra DPS kind of worked out for you, right? Because you were kind of able to pressure, because like if they would like keep their players alive, but I guess they did have a couple moments, but it seemed like even when they were able to use the double medic to an advantage, like it wasn't like they should have won the fights and whatnot, but it was still like after you guys already put up like a 3-4 minute hold, because to use double medic, advantageously, like you need to have both medics ready to go, and you get picks like that. I just think, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I just think there's also like other elements to it than that as well, that it's like,
yeah, there's certainly trade-offs, no doubt. It's just yeah, it was a lot different, and it seemed fairly like reliable for the most part. And I have to give credit to my teammates for like making insane plays and all that. I feel like everyone stepped up to sort of offset that double medic thing at times. So yeah.
All right, well, just the last question I'll have for you here is, you've already been a big proponent of having an open whitelist. You think that's really important for the game to move forward with. we played a game with no whitelist. Do you think it was really how big of a deal do you think it was towards the actual game to have no whitelist?
I mean, it still felt like TF2 to me. And a lot of times people weren't really even using items that were allowed, even though, supposedly these are like must-use items. So I feel like a lot of that is very overblown. Obviously, there's some items that like take some adjusting to. For example, the vaccinator was a big one. We just, turned up the like aggression and focus fire to deal with that, and then things like the Wrangler, we turned up like the coordination focus fire again. All that kind of stuff was like, there's always a way to adapt for sure. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any point in that match where like anything felt like unfair. You know what I mean? Both teams could use any item, and there was always a way that we could adapt. I think a big part of people being so like against a lot of items is just because they're not. It just puts them out of their comfort zone, I guess.
Well, I think it's like they see it like one time be effective, and then they're like, I don't know how to deal with that. Like kind of like the vaccinator was like seemed to be like really, really powerful inside this format, but by the grand finals, like people kind of figured out how to deal with it, and it wasn't like it kind of went from like everybody running it to like nobody. Like you guys were almost everybody was running like only Uber by the end of this match. Like vaccinator was being very, very rare. I think once people kind of, as you said, figured out how to play with it, and we even saw that even in the second week where you guys were trying to run back on defense and it wasn't working out too well, at least as a solo weapon. But I guess any kind of final thoughts you want to give, or any shout outs you want to give, Benny, before we give a raid to you?
Ooh, I just want to say shout out to all my teammates for stepping up, especially shout out to Uncle Dane for joining our team for this league, and for showing us how a good NG main does it. And then also thanks to you guys at RGL for organizing it all. You guys made it very easy for us to like have a server ready every time casts were going, and just like everything. You guys were always really like attentive to any issues or whatever, so I really appreciate that. I've always been impressed by RGL's like league management and organization. So yeah, and then shout out to everyone else who like played in the league, was willing to give it a shot, go outside their comfort zone, learn about what TF2 would be like, and hopefully everyone has learned a lot from this, and has maybe found a new appreciation for a side of TF2 that they weren't really aware of. And then also I'd just like to remind everyone that there is that end season survey that will take all that feedback and compile it together in one place, so that we can really get the most out of this community as possible. And you can get keys for it too. That's only for people that participated in the league, though. Just
yeah, that's for the actual players of the league who actually put in the time. You had to play at least 3 weeks inside the league to be able to take their survey, so you actually have some time underneath of you. All right, well, Banny, thank you so much. Congratulations again here. Real quick, Vox, any shout-outs you want to give before we wrap this up?
No, just my usual shout out to the teams for playing. I mean, thanks for having me. Being able to cast most of the weeks and kind of just watch things develop from chaos into organized chaos was a lot of fun. So just appreciate you having me out. And I mean, it's a great season.
Zeg?
Shout out to the same people. Shout out to everyone for playing the league, everyone putting it together, you guys for having me on here, and shout out to my boys on the Easter Beeb Sevens team.
All right, well, guys, don't forget to give some love to Dolphin, some hearts in chat. Always doing a wonderful job, always on top of the ball, helping us out here at RGL and doing a great job on camera work. For my shout out, I just want to thank out everybody who came out, who played in the league. We had such a massive success of registrations, and then of course, Banny. I mean, I gotta give you a shout out because me and you, we've gone back and forth. We've had a few different like really long discussions about TF2, about the balance inside of TF2, about the game, about formats. I mean, I don't know, we've probably talked at least like 3-4 hours, if not longer, over the last couple of years, about different things, and including like we probably had like an hour or two conversation just about this idea, when we're kind of coming together. But I just want to appreciate, like, I think a lot of people see, Banny as like this, like, I don't know, like really bullheaded person, but he's not. Like, he's not. When I like, he really is open to ideas. He really tries to think things through, and anybody who has that mentality about him, like, clearly does not understand who he is as a person. At least from what I've gotten. And it's been a real joy working with you, at least at the start of the league, and getting ideas together and getting different stuff. And I really want to appreciate the time and effort you did in helping promote it, and also just working with me, because I couldn't have done this league. I don't think it would have been nearly successful if we didn't partner up to kind of have someone who's a figurehead inside the Sixes community who worked with RGL and whatnot. But, you know, it felt very fluid and natural, you know, kind of bouncing ideas off each other and kind of coming up with what we wanted to do. So I just really want to say appreciate you for that. And of course, putting up the bounty pool, that's really awesome too. So, and got to give a shout out to our boys Marketplace.tf for also giving us some of that cashola, as well as I think Bomb Grader for Bomb Grade, who also gave us a huge cash donation, along with a bunch of other people as well. But definitely give some love to Marketplace.tf for that. But with that, we're going to call it tonight. Thank you everybody for coming out here, for supporting RGL. We had over 1,100 viewers tonight. It's been absolutely insane. Thank you everybody for your support. Don't forget to give us a follow, a sub here, a sub on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter, whatever you need to do. Follow us on all the social media. But with that, we're going to call it a night. And yeah, I always suck at these. Have a good rest of your night. And we'll see you next week for the next Pro Lander match.